Hey, how's it going? Everybody, apologize for the delay, technical difficulties here. That's what happens sometimes when you go live. What is that, Murphy's Law? Anything that can possibly go wrong will go wrong. But with that said, thank you guys for sticking around. And I see there's people already jumping in the chat. Welcome to my safe Gaven, everybody. If this is your first time joining me on a live, let me introduce myself really quick. Hey, how's it going? My name is Michael. Call myself the BlackGayComicGeek. Always say the things I love to talk about on my channel has a combination of blood, sex, gore, and magic. So I like to talk superheroes, video games, action movies, horror, sci-fi, fantasy, and of course, I like to talk about Black representation and queer representation. So once again, if this is your first time joining me on the live, let that not be your last time. Hit that subscribe button, become one of my safe Gaveneers. But also, whether this is your first, 1,000th time or whatever, that you've been on a live or checked out one of my videos, do me a favor. I see there's 24 people in this live stream right now. Do me a favor, hit that like button. I need to have 24 likes on this live. That tells YouTube that you're enjoying the content, that you're enjoying the live. It'll push the live out to other people so more people could get up on the stream and everything like that. Guys, if you cannot tell from the title of this episode, we are going fully into the Wakanda and talking spoilers for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. As a matter of fact, let me put on my Kimoyo beads really quick to get in the mood. But guys, I just wanted to say before we officially start, I just wanted to say thank you so much to everybody that have been with me on this channel, because this week I have just crossed over 7,000 subscribers. So thank you so much, everybody, for hitting another milestone here on the Black Gay Comic Geek channel. I hit over 7,000 subs, and when I was going live for Interview with the Vampire, I had almost 200 people on the live stream. Milestone. Got invited to 4 red carpets this year. None of it could have happened without any of you guys. But anyway, let's get into the stream. As you guys know, I do not like to do these lives alone, and it's been a while since I had the family together here on the channel. The last live we did was for Thor Love and Thunder. And so let's welcome back the posse, my peoples, my family. Let's bring on first the wonderful, the incomparable, the legendary, the celebrity woman of Wakanda, the queen, Fantastic Frankey. Yo. Oh, Frankey, we can't hear you. I can't hear you. Are you? Oh, you're muted. You're muted. That's why.
Hello?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Hey, you're okay. What's up, everyone? I don't have the Kimoyo, the Kigo beads you have on your.
No, you don't have the anal beads?
I don't have the anal beads, so my bad, everyone. But what's up, everyone? My name's Fantastic Frankey. Here to debate polarizing statements about comics, anime, sci-fi, and fantasy, as you can see behind me. And I'm glad to be back. Thank you.
Yeah, glad to have you back. Speaking of another person I'm glad to have back, this guy's modest. He always pretends like he's not a content creator like Frankie and I, but this man has over 1 million reach. Anytime he posts something, it goes places. You got comic book creators that know his name. Comic book creators don't know my name, but they know his name. So let's bring on the guy, the incomparable Ron from You Don't Read Comics.
Oh, what's up? Yo, you should have came on and dropped the Timberland beat. Like, yo, it's been a long time.
Nah, then this video is copyright strike.
Yeah, I personally would like to request Stone Cold Steve Austin's intro.
The glass break.
Yeah. Yeah. What a relief that he's not racist. Oh my god.
That was one of my biggest fears as a child.
Because he's the stereotype. He's
the opposite of racist. He's like BLM. He got like wow. There is a God. There is a God, yo. I'm not gonna hold you.
Hey man, I feel that's the same way about Undertaker, because Undertaker was my favorite.
Also not racist.
Yeah. Wait, Ron, really quick, introduce yourself.
I'm Ron. I run a little website called You Don't Read Comics.
Website. Listen to him.
Yeah, I review books because I like comics a lot. I edit, I write. I'm a journalist. I'm heavily into comics. It takes up most of my life, as you can see above me, behind me. And I didn't bring my beads either, but I got my little Chadwick right here.
You got your hair done too. You ain't
Yeah, he got it. He
Ah.
got that Killmonger swag going on.
You know, let me get higher.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, y'all see the
I feel
shirt?
low.
See the
Oh,
shirt?
yeah.
See the shirt? See the shirt?
Y'all, I just came from dinner, so I just got sweated.
Frankie too popping, yeah.
Yeah, Frankie popular over here. So
I'm not gonna hold you today. Normally, I'd be like, "Yeah, gassing it." Today was the day. I was like, maybe.
but yeah, guys.
Caviar.
She was eating caviar, and
I was eating caviar, y'all.
drinking wine with famous people
Off a vineyard. No one was famous. They were just white.
Did they try to make you drink out of a shoe?
No, what is that?
That's some white shit.
Yeah, that's so.
No, they were
not even just any shoe, but a stiletto.
Yeah.
A stiletto. No, they had crystal. So everything I touched, I was like, I should not be touching it. I can't afford it. Like the cups, they didn't have that. I went to go wipe my face with a napkin. I realized the napkin was real, and I was not like cloth, not paper. So I was like, if I wipe my face with a napkin, it's gonna have brown foundation on it. Everybody gonna know the black chick did it. So I just fucking let crumbs on my face all day and wipe
Damn, yo.
Yeah, you just have to use your hand.
I gotta come with a hanky. That's why people come with hanky.
Yeah.
Oh, that's next level, the hanky.
Yeah.
That's how you really know you made it.
Yeah, when you got your own hanky, pull it out your pocket. Yeah. I'm sorry. But we gotta go into hijack it.
But yeah, guys, like I said, once again, if you could do me the huge favor and hit that like button. I see 30 of you in the stream. So do me a favor, hit the like button. What's that? You don't have any swim trunks. What's that in reference? I got swim trunks. They're not Marvel swim trunks. I got Superman.
Do you have the Namor?
Oh no, I don't have. I'm gonna have to get on that Namor swag with the green trunks. I mean, I'd rather the comic version though, the Speedo, but Marvel probably
the banana hammock.
The banana, yeah, the full banana.
You can't walk outside like that.
Marvel, like, nah, we can't. We can't do that.
Oh, someone said my audio.
Yeah, I was just about to say it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I leave.
He's like, damn, my audio bad. Well, I'm leaving then. Fuck it.
I'm out of here. Okay, let me see if I can switch my audio real quick, just for y'all, because I mess with y'all.
But yeah, while we wait for Frankie to see if she can fix her audio, guys, in the on the stream, if you could do us a favor, because gonna be reading the comments and everything like that. But if there's a comment, question, or you just want to support the stream and get it out to us, if you want to do us a favor and leave a super chat on the stream, again, it's not expected, it's not demanded, but it's greatly appreciated. And if it's a comment that you want us to get to, I'll get to it immediately as soon as I see it. And speaking of, here we go. Thank you so much, Ramon Lewis, with the $30 super chat.
I think it's Luis.
Luis?
Yeah, I think it's Luis.
Ramon
Luis.
Ramon Luis?
Yeah.
$30 super chat. He got money. Where the money reside. Thank you so much. Says, hope you guys can split this evenly. The energy you bring, the space you cultivate, and the discussions you foster is always A1. Link it talocan.
Oh, am I back in here? Can you hear me? I can't.
Yeah, we can hear you. That's gonna be the new Wakanda forever. Link it Kamehameha. Link it talocan. So yeah, the audio sounds way better.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it sounds way better.
I can't hear y'all now.
You sound great though.
Yeah, you sound great.
Halfway there. I'm gonna leave and come back.
All right. See, we've been having technical difficulties all night, guys.
All night.
It's a thing.
It's the white man.
Yeah, they just like they tried to colonize Wakanda and Talokan. They trying to colonize the Black Gay Comic Geek stream.
Yeah.
Dang.
All right. Look, is this better? Can y'all hear me better?
Yeah, it's way better.
Yeah, I hear you. As long as you can hear us, we
can. You hear us?
Now she muted.
Now we can. You muted yourself.
You muted yourself.
I muted.
But you can hear us though.
Yeah, but now I can't hear y'all. What is going on?
You can't hear us?
Okay. Oh, that's why. Okay.
Now you hear me? You hear me now?
Yes.
All right, boom.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we out now. So yeah, guys, with this movie, if you couldn't tell from the title, full spoilers, but with this movie being mostly a Black women led and focused movie, we're gonna have the Black woman on the stream, Fantastic Frankey, lead the live for
It is
tonight. So
I'm repping for Shuri and Namora today, and I fuck with it.
and Queen Ramonda, yeah.
She don't exist no more.
Nah, she's still in the
In
ancestral
the
plane.
ancestral plane. She lost. How
So
you
yeah,
can't
Frankey,
swim? I'm sorry.
take it away. Take it away.
What's up, everyone? My name is Fantastic Frankie, and I'm so excited. So let's start off at the beginning, just right off the cuff. Ron, if you could rate it on a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate this movie?
I grade in grades. So I'm gonna give it an A. You
An
know,
A?
an A plus is what like I think a perfect score is. I'm gonna give it an A. I want to give it an A plus, but I think when you start doing that, like every movie is not a perfect movie. I think it's
Right.
really close to perfect, but I think when you start doing that, it's like there's like bias involved. I think the greatest comic book movie of all time is The Winter Soldier. I don't think it's as good as The Winter Soldier, but it's right
Really?
there. It's right there.
Do you think it was better than Black
Black
Panther?
Panther, yes,
Yes. Okay.
yes.
Okay. Mike, what about you?
I'm gonna piggyback on what Ron said. I agree. I don't think it's as good as the Winter Soldier. However, with that said, I do think it's the second best of all the Marvel sequels.
Ooh.
And I do think it's better than the first Black Panther. And I will give this movie an A as well, or my rating, I would call it a blockbuster. Like, I thought this movie was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I love this movie, like, especially considering the impossible task that Ryan Coogler and the rest of Marvel was put in with the unfortunate death of Chadwick Boseman. And they made it work. They took the Cinderella song, impossible things are happening they did that with this movie. They took the impossible and made it happen.
Yo, are the black and brown people in the chat, yo? Y'all play spades? I know Frankie and Mike don't play spades. Y'all play spades?
I play spades. Why does everyone think I can't play spades?
I'm sorry.
I know how to play spades.
Okay, Frankie, you got it.
Okay?
Okay.
I'm conservative with the books that I call. Okay, but that's it.
Nobody ever taught me how to play spades. So
we're gonna teach you one day. We're gonna teach you one day. But you ever have like a bad hand, but you got like a really good partner and y'all still win?
Yeah, you winning off of jacks.
Yeah,
you like how I got that book.
Yeah,
look at that. I'm not the only one. I
know some black people that know how to play spades. But like that's what happened. Like we were dealt a horrible hand, and Ryan Coogler was the perfect partner. The perfect partner. He saved us. Like
he rewrote that script 3 times.
Had to. It's like when I saw it with Mike, I said I could see the script with T'Challa in it and how it would have went. You know, I could tell that he had to rewrite a lot.
I could also tell though, I feel like the script would have went in this direction regardless with Namor and like that storyline.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could tell where he did change it, but I think
you muted yourself again.
You muted yourself.
You muted yourself.
Can you unmute her, Mike?
Nah, I can't. It says their mic isn't connected. There we go.
There you go.
There you go.
But I was saying I could tell that most of the story with Namor was there before.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why it was so good and so fleshed out. And he had to rewrite all the stuff. I feel like Ramonda died regardless.
Definitely.
I think she died. I heard Angela was done regardless, so I think that
I heard the same rumor, but then I also heard somebody say that she didn't agree with her death.
She didn't.
She didn't.
I thought she could have died way more jiggy. Like I would have preferred personally, and I know it's awful, Namor killing her himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I think I get why she died sacrificing herself. And I really did like that. I didn't see a lot of violence toward women. But I didn't like, I don't know, just something about the way that she sacrificed herself. I wasn't getting with. Yeah.
I kind of loved it because everybody knows I'm a Spider-Man fan, and that made that was the catharsis for Riri. That made Ramonda like her Uncle Ben. You know what I mean? So now she's
She
thrust into
ain't
being
even
a
know
hero.
Ramonda. She just right then met Ramonda though.
Yeah, but she's a motherly figure. You know what I mean? They had that connection, going on,
And not even
and
just that. I mean, she kind of said in the movie, like, this woman who I barely even know sacrificed her
exactly,
life for me. Like,
exactly,
I gotta repay the favor back.
exactly.
Facts. But before we even get, because we're towards the end of the movie, let's
We
start.
jumping all
Yeah,
over.
we jumped because the movie's so good. There's so many talking points.
It
Let's
is.
let's start at the beginning, which it right off the rip, it throws you into the death of T'Challa and Shuri trying to find a cure while he's sick. And I loved how jarring it is because if anyone who's ever experienced the loss, that's how it feels. Like it's like abrupt, it's quick, and you're thrown into it. And I love the directing style of it. I loved how shocked everyone looked and things like that. But y'all, let me know what your thoughts were there.
Yeah, no, I love the way that the beginning of the movie it started right with the death of T'Challa, and it was abrupt, just like how abrupt it was when he died in real life.
Right.
hmm
Like it caught us all off guard, just like the beginning of this movie. I think caught us off guard because there was no warning or anything. It just started, boom, he's already gone.
Yeah, I like that they did it that way too because like it didn't fill up the film. You know what I mean? Like the film was a tribute to him, but it wasn't all about sadness. So I like that the fact that we got that tribute right there in the beginning. Boom, we moved on. Tribute at the end. Boom.
And it didn't capitalize off of it. I also love that Shuri learned with us that he died,
hmm
right? Like I'm sure Letitia did.
hmm
And I think it gave us a connection with her throughout the movie where we understood like why she was so upset,
hmm
how why she was processing her grief because throughout the movie I felt like I was processing it with her.
Exactly.
I would like to see, like after the movie comes out on Blu-ray and everything, after everybody sees it. I'm hoping because Ryan Coogler did say, because I watched his interview on the official podcast with Ta-Nehisi Coates, and he said like the movie was completely done that he wrote with Chadwick Boseman, and he was going to send him the script, and he felt like he finished the script like 2 weeks before he officially passed, and so I would like to see what his original script was with T'Challa in it.
I think that I want to see it too, but I don't think he should put it out there because it's just going to give trolls a reason to say, "Oh, it was better with Chadwick," and that toxic group of people.
I mean, but at the
anything
end
to
of the day,
latch onto.
the trolls are going to be there regardless. Like, there's trolls there now. Like,
Yeah, it's disgusting.
No matter, and I think that's the biggest thing too, right? There was no way for him to properly kill T'Challa. Like, I think no matter what, we would have had complaints, or at least the general public.
hmm
And for me, I felt like this was the cleanest. Let's get it out the way, and let's
hmm
not focus on his death, but more. And that's how they didn't capitalize on it. Okay, this character's dead, like he would have been in the movies.
hmm
It shouldn't be about his death. It should be about how are people processing their grief around his
hmm
death. And I
Yeah,
love that.
it was like a movie for us. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
I also love like how when we got I don't want to say funeral, but we got like his passing and whatever rituals they did, and it was like a
Yeah.
celebration of life. It wasn't just like, oh, he's dead, we're all sad. People were like dancing and celebrating his life.
Because
Like
they're
it,
African.
yeah,
yeah, and I was gonna
and
say,
it's
and
like
that's the thing I
they were
enjoyed.
like, thank you for the gift of him. You know what I mean? We got to have him. So
And not even just that,
yeah,
but that's like when it comes to like authenticity, both in front of and behind the screen as well, because that's Black culture in and of itself.
definitely.
Like a lot of times we do treat funerals as more of a celebration. Obviously, you got people crying and mourning,
hmm
people that be trying to throw themselves in the casket, but
Right.
but we do treat it more as a celebration, more as a thank you for the time that we had with this person, thank you for the gift, and then of course add in the fact that in Wakanda, they say we all know that death is not the end.
hmm
He's with the ancestors. Like you can literally take the heart-shaped herb if you're connected to him and see him again.
hmm
I forgot until this movie as well that no one truly knows that the ancestral plane exists. Right? Like the Black Panther talks about it, but it could be a hallucination. And that's such a big leap of faith that I love that they have. I forgot I made notes. I also love that during the funeral, after they show Shuri's face, they changed the funeral's perspective directing wise to reflect her perspective of the funeral. So when we first see the funeral, it is lively, fun, right? People getting busy.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they show Shuri, from then on, everything slows down. And that's how it feels when you're grieving, right? Like time kind of stops. You feel this pit in the stomach and the music changes. And I really love that they showed that, like, this is how she feels at this funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But really quick, Kaylee Demo said if Coogler killed off Angela Bassett against her wishes, he deserves serious side eye. You don't fumble that Angela Bassett bag on purpose. We need to hear he begged her on his hands and knees to stay. I mean, honestly,
I think her death kind of made a lot of the movie.
I think her death made a lot of the movie, and I think it was necessary considering the direction that they went for Shuri's character. Then not only that, I think, but for the death of Angela Bassett's Queen Ramonda, there will be no reason for her to see Killmonger in the ancestral plane. And from a behind the scenes standpoint, just in the fact that this movie is a mourning and a tribute and a celebration of Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan had to have been in this movie.
Yeah.
And Queen Ramonda, like, it would make no sense for him to be in this movie, but the fact that Queen Ramonda is dead and now Shuri's out for revenge.
Yeah, I agree. And I think also the way that he wrote her character, it's clear that it wasn't on some I'm getting rid of you, right? It was done with such care.
Even from the jump, you see how powerful a queen she is.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't want to skip into that scene, but we'll talk about that fucking summit scene in a second. But the next scene I have here is the introduction of the Tolokans and Namor. It's the first time we get to see him. And it's, to me, terrorizing. Right? Like,
I enjoyed it. He was terrorizing white people.
I mean, and you know, it's funny. I made a video. I've been making videos like trying to let people know, like, I love Namor. Like, I love the character. I love Tanakh. I love everything about him. But at the end of the day, Mans was villainous from rip, right? Terrifying.
That's what I was like. Was he a villain?
That's what I'm saying.
He's
for
killing
Killmonger,
people.
we got a point where he was definitely a villain. Like, you could tell he was a villain. Like, he was choking out old ladies. We never got that from Namor.
What do you mean? He killed a bunch of women and children in Wakanda. That had nothing to do. It was not war.
That was war.
It was not war, y'all. They kidnapped a princess. He kidnapped a princess.
He didn't try to kidnap the princess. Came to him.
No, and say so. This is.
Yeah.
I see. I have to. Oh.
No. What was you about to say?
Hold on, y'all. 1 second. So sorry. I see. I gotta have this consent conversation with you as well.
Well, no, I agree.
She said
she didn't. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
It was not because she was like, let me see Talokan. Okoye just got washed. She was about her and old girl was about to. They were about to clap the scientist, which she didn't want to do, and then more than likely about to clap her. So she was like, all right,
kill her.
I'm going with you, right? And even Namora was like, oh, you alive? Like, she was about to get clapped. So
it wasn't really a choice.
She had to go. And even beyond that, right? No one knew that she gave herself up, right? So to the Wakandans, they just kidnapped her princess before they had the ability to say, here's the scientist, right? He didn't give her the benefit of the doubt. So Ramon was like, yo, fuck that. Let me get the ops to go get my chick. Nakia worked in a concise way, because if the roles were reversed, because Namor is a villain and I love him, but he's a villain. If the same thing happened and they took Namora, and Namora did that, Namor would have brought fucking rain on all of them. He would have killed everybody in Wakanda for Namora, because he killed half of Wakanda, destabilized the economy for 2 servants. That is a casualty of an op. He killed all those people for 2 servants, and his plan was to destroy to basically conquer the world. That is not that
That was also right after he warned him, you know, like don't mess with me.
No, that was his
That was
plan.
right after.
That was his plan, period. He said, all right, now that they know about vibranium, it's time for us to go and conquer these white hoes. I've been waiting for it. And he didn't say white hoes,
remember
right?
he said it's not even about the scientists anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah. He was like, I'm ready. I've been waiting for this shit. And y'all, because we saw the white people as an antagonist, we're thinking of them as antagonists. But two things.
That's why when you keep calling Namor the villain, I'm like, where?
Namor killed so many black people. What are you talking about? He killed a lot of black people, including the queen of Wakanda, right? He went there to kill that shit.
He didn't destroy all of Wakanda. He just destroyed the capital city.
He killed the capital city, but he destabilized it, right? He did what the American government was talking about doing. Namor did in an afternoon, in what looked like half an hour. Namor did.
I didn't see him kill that many people. He said,
what do you mean they drowned?
They drowned mad people.
They were trying to save as many people.
A whole tidal wave took over the.
I ain't seen them die.
Please get in the boat because it's a PG-13 movie. They're not gonna show bodies floating. They didn't even really show Ramon. I was like, when did she lose consciousness? They didn't even show that. But beyond that, when he was talking about his plans, he never once said, let's get these white hoes out of here. He said the world beyond Wakanda, which means he was going to do the same shit to all these African nations. He was going to be up in Haiti doing that shit. He was going to be in DR. He's probably going to be in Mexico too.
I doubt it. I think he was just after the powerful nations. He's not going to attack some third world country.
Why not?
Because why?
Because he already killed the blacks. He already showed he could kill blacks. He said the entire world.
He did say
the whole world. And let me tell you something about Namor. No.
You think he was going to attack Mexico?
Yes. One thing about Namor is he is precise with his words. That was one thing he made sure he was. Namor never left things up for interpretation, right? Namor was straight up like, I'm going to kill y'all all. And he meant it. He
meant it.
Everything he said, he meant. There was never a time he was like,
And when they tried to threaten him, like Ramon, she was like, "Yeah, if you don't give me Shuri back, I'm telling the world who you are." He got close, he got up in her ear like, "You tell people about me, I'm gonna kill the princess and I'm gonna kill you."
With the eyes, do the eyes, please. Please do the eyes. I was like, please relax.
But Raheem, like, no, he didn't kidnap Shuri, but at the same time, he wasn't letting Shuri go.
He was like, you can't leave. He told her,
you can't leave here.
He said, you can't leave, but you could check out Telecon. Like, I got some gear for you. But even that's a prisoner of war.
Smith, he said the whole surface.
He said us and Wakanda against the entire service. We
watched this like twice. when we talk bad about America, who are we talking about? We talking about
but we are not Namor. Namor is precise. He's 800 years old. He don't give a fuck about ambiguity.
Yeah, all he care about is his people in Telecon. That's it. The Americans aren't Tolokanians.
And the only reason why he was including Wakanda wasn't because they were black. Was one, I think he saw them as equals because they had access to vibranium. And two,
they were isolated.
And they're isolated. But two, because at the end of the day, they were washing Wakanda, but that's because Wakanda was dumb enough to be fighting them in the fucking water. What are they gonna do when they get to deserts? What are they gonna do when they get inland to America, or Russia and shit like that? They're not gonna do well, and they know that they need Wakanda. And that was something like I love that we saw how strong the Telecons were, but at the same time, Shuri showed what a big weakness. They have to be by water, and there's so much of the world that's landlocked that they can't conquer it without Wakanda.
Or they could just flood the whole planet.
They could what?
They could flood the whole planet.
Can they?
They can.
He could control water. He could control water.
I didn't see it in the film.
He can't control water. That's why they have water balloons. Okay,
but I also will say though, like even despite all of that, I still don't necessarily see Namor as a villain. He's an antagonist. He's definitely an antagonist. Yeah. But because even think about it from a black perspective, how many times do we say if black people have mutant powers like the X-Men, a lot of us will be Magneto. So it's like you look.
I
So
don't
like you
think
look at his.
so. I think a lot of us would move just like the Wakandans. We have to, because if it's the black people of today, we have been trained and we are so used to, we have to be better. We moving like Superman, right? We have to be better. We're thinking about everyone else. We're altruistic. At the end of the day, Magneto white. That's why he moving like that. We saw Wakanda has the power to conquer the world. And that was the point, which we can go, oh no, I don't want to get off of this boat. And that was the point of the UN, right? And even what Valentina was doing. Black people in this world have the power and they're being diplomatic. Yes, we are making sure we're protected and we don't get washed up, but at the same time, we're not conquering spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I don't necessarily mean in the sense of conquering, but I mean in the sense of like more, or I'll say like Malcolm X, by any means necessary. You
I don't
attack
think
me,
that
I'm
either.
gonna attack you back.
I think we would tag back, but I think it would be a lot. I think black people would move like the Wakandans, and I think that was so spot on about, because there are so many times in old history when we did have the power and
To
the white
retaliate.
man, yeah, but the thing is, we are, sorry, white people, better people, right? We
No,
give
I
them
agree.
the
I agree with that.
we give them the benefit of the doubt. We don't move like the Mayans was moving, right? They was sacrificing niggas. Like, I'm not them, but like you get what I'm saying? Like, life was different.
No, I agree. I'm not saying we're gonna like conquer the world, but I'm like, think about all the slave rebellions and all the times that we, fought back throughout history. I'm not saying we're gonna go out and try to conquer people,
right,
in that sense, but like you coming for me, you coming after my people. That's kind of what
Eye for
Namor did,
eye.
because like
Yeah.
before that, more of an eye for an eye. Because before that, Namor wasn't coming to the. He had like 500, 600, 700 years of life. It wasn't until they started encroaching on his territory that he finally is like, you know what? Now I'm attacking.
But he was talking all that rah-rah, and you know what? Latin America was colonized in the same way Africa was, and he didn't do shit about it. He killed one house of slave owners because that's where
he
he was
wanted to bury
burying his mother.
Exactly.
But he was talking all that shit.
I mean, it's the same thing with Wakanda though. They allowed slavery to happen. So
Exactly. But let's talk about that first scene where we are introduced with No More, because I thought it was beautiful. And y'all, the second time I watched the movie, I took notes on the director, so y'all gonna hear a lot of commentary on the directing. But the siren song starts playing the minute the scene goes to the ocean, but it's played very low. And as we get to hear more danger, that sound gets louder and louder until we notice that they're singing. And then by that time, just like the scientists, it was too late.
How many people you think they body like that? They can generate like regular
on that boat?
No, not on that boat. Like just over the years they've been around.
Probably a lot.
You know, I don't think over the years they really was getting people unless they were in their space. You know what I mean? They're trying to be low. Yeah, like the Bermuda Triangle and stuff. But I think unless they were direct, like they saw a blue nigga, they was like, oh, go clap him. But I don't think they really did it much.
I was gonna say, because you could say within the world of the MCU, that's where the mythology of the siren came from. Yeah, mermaids and sirens.
Yeah,
I love that though.
So I feel like it had to have been enough that, because even what's the face when Nakia went to Mexico and was talking to that woman, and she was like, yeah, a lot of people have seen Namor, but if you go to where he is and you have ill will in your heart, you ain't coming back.
Facts. But that's what I mean. Like, I don't think, like, even that boat.
But I'm saying, you just said that he's not bodying people for no reason, but you think he was going to burn everybody on the surface world.
He wasn't bodying people for no reason because he was a good person. He was trying to be low. And I know that because the first thing he said to Ramonda and Shuri was, fuck y'all, tell niggas about us. Now I gotta clap somebody. Go get that scientist for you. He was you know what I mean? Like, so like you said, like it's clear that they've used it before and they are murking people, right? But I'm saying is he was low about it. Like that whole boat was probably one of the most, he probably did a cruise ship or something, like you said, in the Bermuda Triangle. But I think for the most part, he tried to keep it at a minimum so they could stay low. Because if he did it too much, niggas is like, what the fuck is going on in the ocean?
What they're going to do? You can't go in the ocean and attack them. Can't nobody beat them there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but this is the thing about, if you guys ever seen True Blood,
I'm
the
a True
thing
Blood fan.
about what happens, right? We couldn't be vampires until we found out that vampires existed. Scientists are gonna spend day and night to figure out ways to fuck y'all up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was his point. If they were not a threat, why would he need to be? His whole point is once they find out, they're gonna conspire and find a way to take over us and get rid of us.
Because right now Riri is the only one that was able to make the vibranium detector, but now that it's made, other people can figure out how to make it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Even still, and I know Wakanda is obviously an outlier, right? It took him like 4 days to figure out how to fuck up Namor. Right? 2 women, 4 days, 2 of the smartest women in the world. But like even still, I'm just saying, like, if it took them 4 days, it would take 6 months to a year of the brightest white men in the world, to get it together. So
real quick, Ramon Lewis, to address this, like Namor's worldview makes me wonder about how
Impossible.
his whole I was gonna say I don't think unless
it's Jessica Alba
unless Sue Storm is a black woman, I don't see this
or an
version
indigenous woman.
Oh yeah, I don't see this version of Namor falling for Sue Storm.
Yeah, I think I told the Frankie about this earlier. Like it would have to be like somebody who reminds him of his mother, like a Mexican woman.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's personally, I don't think it's necessary.
No,
I don't think it's a plot line that's necessary. But yeah, if it did, maybe they called Jessica Alba back. I don't know. But
honestly, a lot of people do bring up the whole Sue Storm and Namor thing, and it didn't really happen that much.
It's just like everyone.
It happened in a lot of Elseworlds and like different universes, but in the main canon, no, it's not. It's never. It was
really just
happened.
Like everybody's like, yes, finally we can get Storm, whatever.
Because I see a lot of people have been shipping Shuri and Namor.
Yes, it was palpable. I was like, why not me? Why am I not kidnapped? When he was talking to her, even when he was like, she was like, so what you gonna do if we say no? He said, you gonna kill us? He said, yes.
Yeah.
Now come lick my chest, baby.
Nah, them nipples were definitely
nippling.
It was definitely nippling. Like you know how the sirens hypnotize you with the song.
Yeah.
His nipples were hypnotizing me the whole movie.
That's why he made his eyes so
nippling.
big. That's why he made his eyes so big, because he like appeared. I felt like he was doing that to me, like, bitch, focus. And I was like, oh, my bad.
That's why I'm like, one thing, because like I love Namor so much in the MCU. I want him to be retconned in the comics, like his whole origin, his motivation, and all of that
look
stuff.
what they did with the
it needs to be changed. But one thing I will say, I'm glad that they kept from the comics is the green underwear.
Maybe.
I was like, I loved when he actually said Imperious Rex, but it was in his own language. So
yes.
Yeah.
But it's so much flavor that I was like, I cannot believe y'all letting racism get in the way of y'all enjoying this fly ass character.
They don't want to see you have fun. They don't want to see it. They don't want to see us enjoy. Like I have a T'Challa post on my Facebook, and it's white people just jumping in the comments. He's not really. Wakanda isn't real. I'm like, what is wrong with y'all?
Also, black people are doing that too. Black men are in my comments being musty. Talking about, yeah, you like this race swapping sister? And I was like, what are you talking about?
Even talk about Shuri. I stitched a video on TikTok today of a woman, black woman, saying,
why did you do that? Unstitch her, because you making her hot, and she's gonna continue. That's why they continue that stupid shit that they don't know shitload about, because
it annoyed me so much. I had to make a video, but like basically saying that the movie was pushing an agenda, and it didn't make any sense that Letitia Wright she said, quote unquote, 100 pounds soaking wet, and you expect me to believe that she's able to take out a man? I'm like, it's a superhero movie, right?
She is 100 pounds soaking wet.
But I'm like, it's a superhero movie.
And she didn't take him straight on. She weakened him first.
Yeah, she weakened him for a minute.
Yeah,
but I'm like, did you keep that
a hard ass time? Like
but even then, I'm like, did you keep that same energy?
She ain't beat him with hands.
Yeah, but I'm like, did you keep that same energy for Namor throwing around helicopters and shit? Like,
nah.
I will. Namor is a man's man. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, when he popped up on screen, and just started wrecking shit.
Even I love the way
casually
they had him fly.
There was no effort when he threw that helicopter. It was casual.
Casually.
Yeah. But Namor, like when he's fully hydrated, he could bang with the Hulk. He could bang with Silver Surfer. Like
beating the Hulk.
No,
nobody bangs with Silver Surfer. Chill out.
So speaking about that, Surfer,
he could bang with Surfer.
But speaking of that, the actors that were playing the scientists on the boat, they were in other properties, other MCU projects.
I don't know.
The
I know
white woman.
that white woman that got killed at the end. There was a big deal about her being in the film for some reason, even though she
I
just
think
died.
so. Both of
She
them.
looked familiar, but I don't know who.
I think they were just two big actors. Personally, in my notes, I was like, they casted these actors that we've seen in a lot of things to make them seem like they would have a huge plot point, and their whole plot point, and I quote, was to get clapped, because that's what we saw it. I'm not gonna hold you, and I was like, I don't see, and I get why people love Namor and they don't think he's a villain, because to see him clap the white man with such vigor sounds like it's for the cause. But let's go into our next thing, which is the UN summit, which is juxtaposed with a Wakandan lab being raided. Thoughts?
Oh, Lake. Somebody said Lake Bell. That was she actually voiced Black Widow on What If.
Yes, she's Black Widow on What If.
Yeah. She
And
did
that
a
other
really good
guy,
job on that. She did a really good job
She
on
did a
that.
really,
I thought
she
so
did a really
too.
good job in that. Yeah,
I thought so too. I honestly like that version of Black Widow more
same
than
same.
I did Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, and somebody
even
said
in the Black Widow movie.
Somebody says she does her Poison Ivy on the Harley Quinn show.
Yes, she
Oh,
does.
wow. She
I love
probably.
Harley Quinn show. Yeah, even in the movie, that movie was Yelena's.
It was.
What?
It definitely
I'm
was.
We was watching Scarlett No, I was just thinking about it. I was watching Scarlett Johansson.
She was a cameo in her own movie.
Facts. They can't stand her. But yes. So we get to the UN scene, and a couple of notes I wanted to highlight. First one was Black people gear is so much jiggier. And I love that they try to paint us as being unprofessional and things like that. But I love that they were able to still bring the flair, but they had a regalness to them.
Yeah, Wakanda is the paramount of drip.
Yeah, absolutely,
Paramount.
absolutely
They are.
paramount.
Yeah.
Everybody just looks so bland compared to them. Even when the soldiers came in, they was looking fire.
Yeah, the Dora and the matching grays.
And then you saw Okoye's was gold. Everybody else's was silver.
Had gold around it. Yeah,
Okoye was fly the whole movie.
She was.
Movie.
Yeah.
I wish they would have put some more work in her head, looking ashy at the college scene.
That was the point of that, though. Like, cause she has a head.
She's
the
like,
character has a head tattoo.
No, but
is it the makeup? Is it the makeup?
It didn't look ashy. So I was like, they should have drew it on and then haphazardly tried to cover it so that I could get what they was joking about. Because I was like, her shit looked flawless.
They would roast her the whole movie.
They was you bald-headed demon. I was a little triggered when I heard it.
Yeah.
When I heard that, because I was like, now some crusty
there's stuff behind that.
There's
a lot of
I feel like that might be an inside joke.
Yeah,
it's an inside joke, but not just that, but like as a Black woman, that's what guys used to say all the time, no matter what your hair length was, because it wasn't as long as white women.
I mean, thank God Will Smith wasn't there to slap M'Baku for calling out
slappers. G.I. But yeah, I love that they were talking to Ramonda about diplomacy, and at the same time they were not being diplomatic.
That's exactly what they do. Oh, you guys, why you should be like Dr. King. Oh, no, non-violence. This. While people are hurting us, while they're doing this, while they're doing that to us.
And you see, they did
what you said us,
like
what you said about us earlier being better. Like they go low while we go high, and so it's like almost impossible for us to win.
Right, and they were going higher, and that's what I mean about what's the right or wrong thing to do. Right, if Namor was in that meeting, he would have brought the bodies of those Frenchmen.
Yeah, brought
the heads. He would have threw the heads at her feet and be like, croissant or something. I don't know. He would have said some stupid shit.
And he'd have been perfectly right to do that. They attacked him.
And yeah, just like Mr. Green's Jeans has left the building, said the French were villainous. The French and that other country.
There could be more than one villainous. Valentina was a villain. You get what I'm saying? But they're different. I do think
specifically in this scene, because they were the ones that broke into a Wakanda facility. Like right there, that's an act of war. Wakanda had every right to kill those soldiers, but yet still once again, anytime black people get attacked, we keep showing humility. We keep showing that we're above it. And she's like, look, do this again. And we're going to consider this an act of aggression, even though it already was an act of aggression.
It was
like,
already.
and not even just that they broke into the facility. They shooting bullets. If the Dora Milaje weren't as badass as they were, they would have killed people at that facility.
Exactly.
I love that she said that too. She's like, I know y'all think because we don't got no man leading us that we ain't shit, but we are. That was one guy.
We're a nation. We are a nation.
They sent the C Squad. I mean, Ayo was there, but everybody else was not there to go fight the Captain America, right? And Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It was a bunch of Dora that we never see came and washed these Negroes up. You feel me? Like they sent the C Squad. So like y'all don't, we will wash y'all.
Yeah. Nobody's trained like the Wakandas. It's just like when it came to like, especially with the Atlanteans, they didn't have the numbers. Like that's why the Namor was winning. They had all of
them take
all of them were super strong.
Yeah, super strong at the water and the numbers,
and they could regenerate. Because remember, Okoye killed like 4 of them, and they got right back up.
Yeah, but I think it's also because they don't. I don't want to say that. I felt like they were all trained. And they were all like, obviously no one's going to be as good as Okoye. That's why she's the commander. But then their commander was washing her up. He said, you don't even deserve my blade. Where your whack shit at? And grabbed her stuff. But there was no time I felt like they were untrained. In fact, they were working with animals. They was swimming. They could fight on water and out of water. I never seen one of Dora fight in the water. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think they were trained.
Yeah, I mean, he even said like, I got more people in my army than y'all got blades of grass in this country.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. He had the numbers. Yeah,
he had both.
Yeah, he had both.
The numbers and the training.
Yeah, but like I said, if the one, and that was the thing which we'll go into later, I didn't like about their plan. I was like, she had no land-based plan for anyone else.
I think they did that to make it seem more hopeless for the Wakandans because like they have so much tech, they could have teleported out of there. You know,
that's so much tech that I was like,
teleported out of there.
They about to lose.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because like even at the end when Namor and Shuri showed up. And they're like, and Namor's like, let's go back to the surface world. And then he's like, Lincoln Talokan. And then Shuri's like, Wakanda forever. And they repeated back. I'm like, it's only 2 of them left. Like,
it was 2. It was about 6 of them left. All the main characters was left. No one else. And that boat was covered.
Yeah.
With Talakanians. Yeah.
I was like, y'all bugging. Y'all had no reason.
What do you think will happen if Wakanda isn't
Talakani?
It's over. It's over.
But they already made an alliance. That was the whole thing, right?
Yeah, and like we had to talk about it earlier. Like they just came at the right time. If they had came 20 years earlier, King T'Chaka would have teamed up with Namor. I'm like, yeah, let's get it.
He would have been, but that was Killmonger's whole thing. He was like, yo, what
do you think your father would have did?
Exactly.
He would have been clapped that raggedy scientist. What you got her here for? And I love that they are not shying away because, and I think that's a lot on how we see people in general, right? Like when we saw King T'Chaka, he seemed so sweet, right? He was a voice of reason. He was talking about being diplomatic. And then any other time we heard someone talk about him, they was like, that nigga was a savage, right? Exactly. Killmonger, his brother. Everyone talked about him being a savage, but we didn't see that when we saw him. And I feel like that's that's how a lot of people's perceptions of like anyone would be.
Yeah. And it's just like, white people who love their grandmother, even though their grandmother's racist. You could just because people love you and they see you as a sweet person doesn't mean that you don't have some.
You ain't racist, but no, he right. Like, yo, grandma used to make me cookies. That shit.
Exactly.
You crazy. Yo, come on, we all black. Our grandmas are racist. They be talking crazy. My grandma be talking crazy. I'm like,
my grandmother.
My father be talking crazy.
They've been through it, so I let them talk like that.
I'd be like, please don't get a Twitter.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't put you on no video. Like, you gonna get me canceled. But Kelly Demo said Wakanda struggled because they were caught off guard and have never faced a technological peer. I disagree with that because technology were they really? What technology were they?
They used to cutting everybody's weapons in half.
But at the same time, it wasn't really it wasn't like a technology versus technology battle.
It was about brain.
They had the numbers, the Talakans. They had the numbers and the strength. The Wakandans are just regular people. But everybody in Talokan is basically not even just a super soldier. They're beyond super soldier. So that's where the issue came. And they can fight on land and in water.
What do you think about the fact that Talokan had everybody eats the fucking
that made sense.
Yeah, exactly. How come it's not like that in Wakanda?
Because they don't need to. I think the need for Talokan was that they're going underwater. So the only way you could join that city.
Oh, did they say that? Did they say that? Like you have to eat the herb to like?
Yeah. When they,
I know when they showed that when the first people went down there, but as they reproduce, they still need to eat it. Or
I don't think they still need to eat it, but they're still the children of people who had the herb. So I think it was implied, right? And that's why they would.
Yeah, it could just be more a ritual thing as opposed to like a need.
Yeah.
Right, but then also, were all those Talakans, Namor's children? Half of them?
Probably. I don't know because they didn't really say.
Probably not in the movie, but really, yeah. Probably not in the movie, but really.
But
yeah.
because he called the girl who died daughter, and people was like, "That's his daughter," and I was like, "I think he's old as fuck."
Yeah, I think they see him as a god. Like I mean,
because he's a king.
Okoye called Ramon the mother.
Right, I agreed. Yeah, I didn't think so, and I think also for him to keep his status as king, as a god, he can't be, fornicating.
He's slinging meat everywhere.
Yeah. Okay, so the next scene that we go to is the meeting of Namor and Ramonda and Shuri, where he brings the vibranium finder and he presses them. He's like, "Why did you open the borders? That's just stupid." So that
scene was so jaw dropping in so many ways because like the fact that he just rolled up in Wakanda like nothing, like undetected,
scary,
like, nothing, like, and the fact that's never happened to them, like that shook the hell out of Ramonda.
Yeah, and the way that he pops up, too. All of them, the way that they all pop out of the water is so cool. It's kind of like a quick. And they come to their shoulders to show themselves, but the way they do it, I don't know, reminds me kind of a groundhog, not a groundhog. Yeah, like
a prairie dog.
A prairie dog, but it's so quick, but it's menacing, right? Because you're looking and then immediately there's a person there.
But they're not even just that, but I think Namor is even more menacing because not only is he popping up out the water, but then he's flying out the water.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I feel like anytime someone has the ability to fly, what they love to do is float. And I think that's such a good intimidation tactic. Like at rest, I'm flying. That's how powerful I am.
With the music play, like I think the score for this, I think the score for Black Panther 1 was better, but the score for this movie, I think
still
I thought the Latin score was better than.
There you go. Yeah, definitely.
So anytime the Talakans were on, anytime Namor was on, I was like, yeah, this should go off. But for everybody else,
that song that they played in Talakan, that song was fire. That song was fire.
It was because it was kind of haunting, but also the score they had when Namor was like, "We at war, y'all. What's up?" When he has the headdress on and everything.
Yeah, I love that scene, yo. Like we came down there in the full battle gear, and like you talking about him floating down like this.
Yeah, floating down. Although I will say, I'm not gonna hold you. The CGI for that scene wasn't that good.
Yeah, that's CGI.
It wasn't Act 3 of the first Black Panther level bad. Yeah. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great.
These were all their CGI people was working fucking overtime on She-Hulk.
They're speaking another language underwater, bro. Like
it was hard, and they had to CGI those face. It was a lot of CGI in this movie, so I thought those face masks was so good, so well done as well. But what did y'all think about the scene?
Wait, Namor, when he put on the battle gear to get ready to go fight Wakanda?
Yeah.
I think that he felt hurt. I think he did feel like it wasn't like you talk about the attack. I think it was he dead for hurt by Shuri because he thought they had a connection.
No. I'm talking about when he first meets Shuri.
When he first meets
Shuri. Oh yeah. Like the fact that he just rolled up in there and like he didn't care what they had to say, really. Like what they could, like he walked out the water knowing that they couldn't do anything to him.
Exactly. And that was his whole thing. That's what I loved, his concern. He's like, then I'll kill y'all, but please.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to. I pray for your safety is the best.
Yeah, I pray for your safety that you don't say nothing.
Yeah.
And I think that was a great introduction to show the power of Namor against the Wakandans. Because like when you think of Wakanda, like they mentioned, the most powerful nation in the world. But yeah, this man, because I mean, the scene before we saw him taking out helicopters and so everything like that. So we see his brute strength, but we're seeing his brute strength against another powerful nation, and even they can't really do anything. The fact that he was able to sneak in undetected, the fact that he openly threatened both of them, like, and what you gonna do about it? And and both of them were shook, like they were scared. They're like, nah, we can't. Even when they was talking to Ross, they like, for our own safety, we can't tell you nothing. Like they were scared.
And like for the people who like read comics and want that egotistical Namor, like there you go, right there.
Yeah, and they set the tone on what respect is, because right before then, Ramonda is calling Shuri. She hangs up, and they're like, "You just hung up on the queen," and she said, "I hung up on my mother." So they were establishing like what respect is, who would dare do something, and then later they also let you know that Namor just pulling up and threatening them is crazy, because America, the ones who love to swing their dick, was like, nah. Valentina was like, we got a couple super soldiers, but I don't know if we could, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, and
what do you think America's gonna do when they find out there's a whole group of super soldiers underwater?
That's the point. That's his point. They're not. I know that's the point.
But I'm saying, like,
not even just that, but what can they do? Because like even from a real life perspective,
they can steal the heart-shaped herb down there.
We know more about space than we do about the deep ocean. Like, how they gonna get down there?
They're in the deep, the black of the ocean. We don't know shit about that. That's why they had the big whales.
Yeah, people like some of the worst critiques I've seen of the film. Like, oh, it was a great film, but they like. There's a group of people who watch the MCU movies and they're just like, they're trying to get to the next one. They're trying to get to the big event. Like people are trying to get to Kang right now. And they're like, Black Panther 2 was just filler. I'm like, no, the implications of this movie, like, lead to bigger things in the MCU.
There was a whole subplot to build on the MCU, but beyond
we know America's trying to go to war with Wakanda. We know a Namor movie is coming. So it's like it definitely led to
Ironheart. There was 5 spin-offs.
Led to Ironheart. So we already know it's going to lead to bigger things. But I do feel like that is a lot of things that people are asking. Where did you? Because somebody asked me that before. Did you think this movie had any Easter eggs to what's coming next? Like, no.
I mean, self-contained.
Obviously, the movie told you things that is going to come with the Namor movie. The fact that Wakanda is going to war with the rest of the world. They want to destabilize Wakanda, but at the same time, this movie is very self-contained, and that's not an issue. That's not a problem.
And I agree. And the thing is, I'm hearing both critiques, and people just can't make up their effing minds. Like some people are like, I hated that subplot with the Americans and then
because they white.
But no, a black guy said he couldn't understand why which is crazy because he clearly didn't see the movie. He was like, so you're telling me they find
that's
out
the people who have the most critiques, the people who don't watch the movie at all have the most critiques, the most stuff to say. Yeah, absolutely.
But it was both. So I was like, I'm not gonna listen to y'all. Ryan clearly, and if you watch the first Black Panther movie, it too was self-contained, and I think that's what's so great about it. And the Spider-Man movies are self-contained. They don't say nothing about that. So yeah, they can eat a dick. But let's go to our next one.
But going back to the Ramonda and Shuri scene, the thing I love about this movie is it does a great job of combining, because like this movie wasn't just a grief fest, right? Like you have us, and not even just us, but you have the actors mourning the death of their colleague and friend Chadwick Boseman, and then you have the characters mourning the death of T'Challa. And then also the audience mourning the death of both T'Challa and Chadwick Boseman. But at the same time, this movie was funny. It had a lot of moments of comedy. This movie had great action sequences and moments that you were both turned on and terrified of Namor. And it did a great juggling all of those emotions.
And
I think part of that happened with this scene too. Like I was both scared of Namor and I was like, dang.
Yeah, I think Riri carried a lot of the comedy.
Yeah, Riri definitely.
So I was just gonna ask. Let's go into the comedy. And first of all, why was Riri acting like she's from New York?
I said that too. She's supposed to be from Chicago, and I think that anybody that's not from New York or Chicago don't know the difference. So
I don't know the difference. Not from. Oh, you're saying her? Yeah. I was like, I couldn't tell the difference that she was from Chicago.
Yeah.
But
I'm about to look up where she's from.
But
Maybe
she killed it. She was hilarious. She was black as fuck, like Black
I
American as fuck.
love this.
And it was, I think, the fact that the Wakandans are like African or Wakandan or whatever, and the
Oh,
fact
snap.
that you had a
Ugh, she from
from
Jersey.
Jersey.
No,
But,
nah. Her parents from Trinidad.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yo, quick
But
story about us.
She's
Yeah.
from New York.
Yeah.
Oh, she's from. That's why she said. I knew.
Okay.
I heard the kid.
Yeah.
But quick
She
story.
went. She went to Cornell University, actually.
Oh, she's a
Okay.
fancy hoe. Quick story about Mike, y'all. When we're all out as a group, obviously me and Ron are like, we're from New York. And Mike will be like, I'm from Jersey. And we're like, you can lie. You don't have to. Like, you're with two New Yorkers. You don't have to say where you're from Jersey. Like, we couldn't fathom why
the
somebody
moment I
would
say
choose
that, the moment I say I'm from New York, y'all gonna be like, nah.
we gave you the
ain't lying.
go ahead.
Yeah, we gave you a pass, bro.
Sometimes we'll say it. Sometimes we'll be like, oh, we're
from
New York. And then he'd be like, nah, I'm from Jersey. I'd be like, whoa, you don't gotta bring that Jersey talk.
Like that.
Yeah.
You gotta rep Gotham City's in Jersey.
Yeah,
Come on now.
that's crazy. That's what you want to.
Yeah.
Gotham.
I'm next door neighbors with Batman. Like,
Yeah,
that
man don't even live in Gotham. My man is in Westchester, yo. My man in Rochester. Ain't no way he in Gotham.
He live in Connecticut.
Yo, fact. My man in Greenwich. You talking about?
He do be driving mad far to get to the
There's no way a manor like that is in a packed city.
Mm-hmm. Even the X Mansion is upstate, you know.
Yeah, but they at least.
But they be separate from a lot of the Marvel universe, though.
Yeah.
But like I loved Riri, and I like how you said how Shuri was like our focal point, or like I guide or us through the grief process. I think that Riri was us just in general, like being a Black American in Wakanda, and like, oh my God, you got this, you got that. Oh, what's going on here? What's going on there? I think that was us in the film.
Yeah, I also love that Riri. I love seeing the conversation between Riri and Shuri, because Shuri is African, so her language is different. They were both speaking English, but their dialects were so different, and I really love to watch that interaction.
Yeah, I also loved that when she made her armor, and it was just like the flyest thing ever. But it showed what somebody could do with, if they're given the proper tools, the proper resources. And like her being Black American, I'm pretty sure she had to, strive for everything she did. Like she was selling homework, she was doing it, she was doing all the hustling she did. But if she was just, somebody just said, oh, this is a brilliant mind, and just gave her all the resources, she wouldn't have had to do that. You know what I mean?
Let's be clear though. She was definitely a well-to-do Black. Right, like she was not selling her homework for $200. She was selling it for a rack. She had her own personal working space. Yeah, it was shabby compared to Wakanda. She was going to MIT probably for free. She was wearing Yeezys. She was not like poor, right? I know you was connected. That's
because she was hustling.
No, regardless, she was doing very well. At this point in her juncture, she was Ben Carson, right? You know how Ben Carson started off super bar. No, like,
but not a Republican, though.
Not the Republican part, but in terms of beyond the Republican part, niggas looked up to Ben Carson before he opened up his mouth, right? He was the first neurosurgeon to separate conjoined twins. Like, I remember growing up, that was always like, we was watching movies with Cuba Gooding Jr., all that jazz, but whatever. But Ben Carson, he grew up in the hood, but he was so gifted. But by the time he was 10, he was in programs that were fast tracking him to be out of the hood. You get what I'm saying? In the way that like LeBron, by the time he was 12, niggas knew he was going to be rich. And he started building that self to be rich. So by the time she was in college, she was definitely doing better than a lot of Black people.
Yeah, I agree with that. But real quick, shout out to my sister in the chat, Cool and Jelly. For this question, right? I don't know the answer, but apparently Yo Raheem is saying yes, it's true.
Yeah.
That Dominique Thorne was considered for Shuri, but she had to go away for school, so that's why she didn't get the role. So that's why.
Which one?
Riri Williams
could have been Shuri.
She was supposed to be Shuri, but then she went away to college, and so that's why
I like her better as Ironheart.
Yeah, I like her better as Ironheart too.
And honestly, I didn't like Letitia Shuri until this movie.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
I thought she was alright.
I loved him Black Panther 1, but that's
Yeah, I
probably
like her in Black Panther 1.
But
Before she started opening her mouth on Twitter.
I am an older brother, and the younger brother, older brother, younger sister thing kind of got me. Like the what are those and all the little side jokes in between them. That was
cute, but that wasn't, to me. I didn't see enough presence. I was like, is she ever gonna take the mantle? That's gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? And that's why I also think.
But I mean, if she did take the mantle before this,
she was.
I mean, they could have lined it up. Like if T'Challa gave her the mantle and Chaz Moses was alive, they probably would have did it, in 2 or 3 movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they would have built it up more.
But that's what I'm saying. I was nervous for this movie, and honestly, that scene in the dorm room where she was pressing Riri is when I was like, okay, she could pull this off.
Mm-hmm.
She had such a commanding presence, and she was almost mentoring her in that moment. Like she was being empathetic. She was scary. She was a little sexy. She was by her jaw. She was very androgynous. I was like, okay, I'm feeling it. I also
think it works from like a filming standpoint because Letitia Wright is taller than Dominique Thorne.
Is she, or did they block her that
Dominique Thorne is tiny.
Dominique Thorne is tiny.
Yeah,
everybody's tiny.
No,
in Hollywood,
really
everyone is tiny. Me and Mike started figuring that out when we went to premieres and we see the costumes and we like, the fuck? Our costumes so small.
But Derek Walk said the fact that the government stole her idea for the vibranium finder shows you how the colonizers stole anything from us.
She knew nothing about it.
All you gotta do is spend like a day on
all you
gotta do is spend a day on TikTok and you see that yourself.
I need y'all to know too, the government didn't just steal it. I think her professor sold it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think her professor.
He said, "I bet you can't do this."
Her professor stole it.
Yeah, he's like, "I bet you can't do this." Oh,
yeah, her professor's probably white. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he realized she could probably do it, and when she did, he said, "Bet." And then
and the sad thing about that is people probably been doing that the whole life, like profiting over her.
Yeah,
as far as she is, like you said, she came far, but as far as she come, she would have gone farther. You know what I mean?
Right. If she wasn't black, I agree.
Oh dang. Dominique Thorne is only 5 feet, like 5 feet exactly.
Nice. I told you she's tiny.
Yeah. Okay, so let's.
Oh no, 5'3", 5'3".
5'3".
I think 5 feet is right. She's tiny.
So yeah, let's talk about the interaction with Okoye. We're talking about her head, but
hold on, wait, sorry to interrupt. Wait, he is? I fell out when I found out Arnold Schwarzenegger was only 5'7".
That's
a lie.
He's 6'2".
Arnold
He's 6'2".
Schwarzenegger is 6'2".
He's 6'2".
Because I was about to say, wait a minute.
He's not. That's a flat out lie. He's 6'2", and that was a whole thing I learned from Sinbad, who said that's why he was cast in Jingle All the Way, because he was the same height.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Yeah, so that was a lie. So now who
that was my sister. She got wrong information.
Wrong sister. Get it together.
What did you say?
I was talking about Riri. I said when she got to Wakanda, they retwisted her hair because her shit was looking. Jim Jones's, maybe because she be in Jersey. Her braids was not looking fresh, and as soon as she got to Wakanda, they said, "Let me go ahead and get this edge control."
Yo, Shuri changed her hair like 8 times during the movie, yo.
Cause she black and she's rich. I love that.
And I love like when she became Black Panther, she got the braids, the cornrows,
which looked more like how Killmonger did his hair when he was in the Panther suit, which I think was unintentional homage to him on her end. But I will say this, I feel like I didn't see this much with Chadwick, but with her, I could tell she was rich. And I love that. The whole time I was like, this chick rich. That suit looked bespoke, the sweatsuit. And she changed her hair every
second. You talking about when she went to MIT?
When she went to MIT, any fit she wore looked expensive. Like what's his name? I'm not saying Chadwick wasn't dipped in butter.
No, I mean Chadwick not trying to shoot her down or anything, but Chadwick had to lead. Like he was groomed to do other things. Like she just got to be just the princess,
right? So she got to be jiggy.
Exactly,
she got to be jiggy. Nah, but don't do that. Ramonda had to lead, and she was dipped. She was dripping.
Yeah, every outfit she had.
But she wasn't. She was forced into that too. Her husband died. Her son died.
She was still a really big component about tradition and fuck.
Yeah,
I think Chadwick was just boring. Not Chadwick, but T'Challa was just like very like, what's the word? Like he was the bold. unassuming. And even we saw that in what he chose in the necklace, right? Even when he's given the option to
the
But I think
necklace.
all the outfits, like give Ruth Carter. I think she won an Oscar for the first Black Panther movie. She needs another Oscar for this movie because the costumes were incredible.
You want to talk Oscars?
Namor's
You want to talk Oscars? You want to talk Oscars?
Oh, we ain't get there yet.
We're about to get there. Okay, so the whole speed chase, because it's not a Black movie. It's not a Black Panther movie without a speed chase. I also have a note there that Riri killed all those cops on the bridge when she threw that drone into them. So she killed them.
So. She waited for them to jump out the way because
she did not. She did not time it. She just knocked it down. She said, "Yo, that shit coming in hot." So some jumped out. Somebody got killed. But in our highly disputed conversation, we see Okoye have a fight for her life. We see the Talakans and we see that they can regenerate, how formidable they are. And then Shuri, in desperation, offers herself to go down. But you're saying she did not. You're saying she wanted to see what Talakan was about.
No, it's like a parlay and when you a pirate, like you about to get fucked up. So the only thing you could do is parlay. Because she
pulled the royalty card, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because
I'm Shuri, princess of blah blah blah. I demand
Namora was like kill the scientist and to kill the princess too, and she's like, whoa, I'm Princess Shuri, take me to Namor. So it's like there was no choice. It was either take me to Talakan or you about to kill both of us,
and that would have been war. Because
they said no witnesses.
Yeah, and they didn't want to be the ones to start the war.
Because they were also about to kill Okoye.
Yeah, but that was about to get war. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think killing Okoye, and that's what I'm saying. If they killed Okoye, that's not an act of war. Just like the two people that Nakia killed, I don't think was an act of war. I think stealing the scientist and Shuri technically is an act of war, but the two people that she killed to get them were not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the saddest thing, excuse me, I got a little thing. I think the saddest thing about the movie was that after Namor meets Ramonda, no whites were harmed in the film after.
Definitely.
Not a one white. Not a one white. One almost got it.
I was gonna say not even just that, but I feel like they didn't even talk about white people or go hard enough against white people as much as I wanted to in this movie.
Yes. And then the one white guy we really was seeing, Bilbo Baggins, was like,
Ross.
he
wasn't in the movie that much though.
That's good. He white.
He's white. It's not his movie. He was in the last movie too.
Yeah.
And I love that they're showing, although a lot of people don't understand nuance, that Valentina is fun, but she's not shit. She's a villain as well. Like she was like
she's the worst kind of villain. She's the real life.
She's a white woman.
She is a white woman where she's two-faced. You want to be around her, but she is actively working against you.
Yeah, she's moving the pieces on the board.
She's that white woman that tried to call 911 on the comic book guy, the photographer.
Yeah,
definitely.
Where she voted for Democrats, she voted for Hillary Clinton, but yet let a black man tell her what to do. And she calling the cops.
Yeah,
she's like, "Oh no, he's killing me."
That's what Valentina is. Yeah.
So what did y'all think? So after Shuri goes to Talakan, what did you think about that scene and the talk that she had
with
Namor?
Oh, and Underwood. I mean, that was dope. I think they had a connection, and he said, "I heard you say you wanted the world to burn." It's not like I'm just coming up with you and I'm just throwing crazy ideas at you. You feel the same way I feel.
I agree. And I'm glad that and I saw her thinking about it, and I'd be thinking about it too. I'm like, yeah, fuck these white hoes. Like they're, and Killmonger. And I think that's when the Killmonger thoughts start to permeate in her head, right? Even though he's the reason why her brother essentially died, right? Because if he didn't burn all the heart-shaped crop, he would have survived. He still had a point where the world is the reason why he was doing these things, and he was a product of it. And I'm
glad he even brought up where he was just like, yeah, like, you think your father wouldn't have killed the scientist?
Yeah,
he killed my brother, his own brother.
Yeah.
Or what? Oh, because he brought just a little bit of vibranium.
Yeah.
And he brought it to help
liberate black people.
Exactly.
he was like, "Yo, you can't be." And I think that's, and it's funny. A lot of people were like, "This is the same as the first movie." I was like, "You don't get it. It has to be." Like, because this is the second part of the coin. Like, Killmonger was right, and they're reiterating it, and it's from a different perspective now. But I love that about it.
Facts. Val reminds me of Christina from Lovecraft Country. Exactly.
Yes. Was Christina actually Will? Which one was the real one?
Christina was the real one. Yeah.
And she would pretend to be Will.
She would pretend to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Always
blowing his conch.
Like blowing his conch, and I'll be here. How? Oh, that's how.
I mean, probably some aquatic noise. You know what I mean?
Yes. Like a sonic vibration or whatever that he hears from the ocean.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's another conch that I want to blow on, but.
So moving on to Nakia, how did y'all feel about her in this movie?
I'm gonna go straight to the thickness.
The booty. I knew it. Get it out the way.
That's fine. We've been thirsting over no more. So
yo.
Like, I didn't even know.
Lupita has always been gorgeous, but she was always a slimmer figure. But she
got thick in this. She was thick in this movie.
They put her in a skin tight suit.
Yeah, and they made sure to show you. They made sure to show you multiple times at multiple angles how thick she had gotten.
Yeah. You think Ryan was like, "Hey, yo, lower that camera. They get the wide shot."
Facts, but other than that, it was dope that we got to see her as a spy because they talked about her in the first movie, but we didn't get any flashbacks or anything to that. We saw her go full espionage mode, 007 like rescue mission. It was dope.
I like that. I also like that people were like Nakia getting things done in 1 to 2 business days.
Yeah, I seen that.
Love that. I love that about her.
FedEx Express.
After having a baby.
That baby was grown as fuck.
Still
your
body changes.
That baby is making jokes. If a baby is making puns, you no longer can talk about how he affected your body. You've had time to recover. Okay.
But I do wish that she was in the movie a little bit more.
Yeah, I felt like she was a lot of times like a plot device, right? Every time the plot needed to be moved forward, Nakia was there to do it for them. You get what I'm saying?
You know why? Because of the post-credit, the mid-credit scene.
Even beyond the mid-credit, right? She was the one to push her to eat the flowers, support her there. She was the one to say, like, every time you're like, we need to nudge it along.
I mean, she was like one of the only other people closest to T'Challa. So
yeah, I'm not saying it's wrong. I just felt like she was a plot point, plot device. You know what I mean? And I want more from her. But Nakia is not that. She a plot device in the comics too.
Yeah.
As far as M'Baku, because I also saw it's in the chat as well, and I saw some people say it as well. Like they wish that M'Baku had a bigger role in this movie, and honestly, I feel like the role that he played was fine.
Definitely,
especially considering where his character is going to go.
Yeah,
but like, because he's not part of the Dora Milaje, he's not in the military, he's not part of the royal family. Like, what would he have done? Like.
They just want to see what he's doing.
For him to be in the movie, like for him to be in the movie more, what would his role have been considering the storyline?
Yeah, and the one thing I didn't like about M'Baku was I felt like they were making him into a cartoon version of himself. Like he was only there to drop a one. Like he was funny in the first movie, but he was also serious about like.
I mean, he was serious when he went.
Yeah, he was serious too. Like, when he was talking to Shuri.
Yeah, but then he was making all these clips all the time and stuff. I will say I also felt like he wasn't as strong. Like M'Baku, y'all, is formidable. And I didn't feel that way. And I felt like they wanted us to feel that way because when Namor punched him, it was supposed to be a shock to the audience that he was thrown off like that.
Yeah. For everybody who reads comics, it's called jobbing. Like you'll take a character who you know is strong and then take another character and have them beat their ass. Like, oh, so this guy must be really strong then.
Right.
That's what they did with M'Baku.
But the difference was we didn't know M'Baku was like any stronger than Okoye. You know what I mean? Like I didn't see him as a pillar of strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they do that with the Hulk all the time and shit like
Mhm.
that, where like if they throw the Hulk around, you're like, oh shit, this guy's no one to fuck with.
Yeah.
And that's what they were doing with Namor when he punched him, and he had that y'all, he had a vibranium plate underneath his armor, and that was the whole that's the only
Yeah, because
reason why
otherwise he'd have been dead. He would have
his
been dead.
chest would have been caved fucking
Yeah.
in, yo.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Invincible, where I felt that punch. You know, in Invincible, the first episode where the father punched him a little too hard and he started coughing. I felt that punch with him.
I felt it too. I thought, and it's funny because it became a comedic like effect after he got punched. But when he first got punched, I thought, oh, M'Baku's dead.
I was like, he died.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought he died too.
I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
But with
So,
that
yeah.
said, like I feel like there were moments to show that M'Baku was formidable. It just wasn't as long as like Dodora or Okoye, because we seen him take out some of the Tolokans. Like we threw one off the boat, or when they were fighting on the big ship at the end, he was holding his own. But it's only when he got like you're fucking with somebody like Namor, who's way stronger than all the Talokan. Like Namor is he's the Kukulkan, he's a god.
Yeah.
So like there's nothing you could do against him.
Right.
And that like you said, he's the cool Khan. That's what M'Baku said, and like Frankie said, maybe he didn't have enough development. He was very wise in this film. I feel in the first film he might have been too comedic. He was very, very wise in this film. Like the counsel he gave was really dope. Like he was like,
yeah, even the moments we're talking about, like we shouldn't have perpetual war because this is what's gonna happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, but both Black Panther movies was people of color fucking up each other. I don't like that. Like Civil Wars, basically, and I don't like that. And I'm not saying and that was another thing I wanted to say.
I mean, that's what happens though.
The movie, yes,
it is what happens. Like
it was realistic and it reflected life and it made sense, but it still made me sad.
Yeah, because like think about real life. Think about all the people of color that are affected by we're all affected by Black, Indigenous, Native, Latina, Asian, etc. We're all affected by white supremacy, but yet Asian people are anti-Black, etc., etc. Like, and it's like if we just band together and actually like
because so many people of color just they don't want to be. They want to be the oppressor. They want to be treated like the white guy.
Yeah, you want to have your proximity to whiteness.
Exactly. They just want to be treated as good as white people. They don't
and that was one thing I did like about the Talakans was that I didn't get that from them. Right? They wasn't trying to join them. They was like, fuck these white hoes. And I also felt like Namor, I don't know if it was because he was so charismatic. I felt like he was flirting with Shuri, showing that like he saw them as equals. And I think that was one thing I really liked about him was
definitely
him and the people were like, y'all equals. And we saw that with Atuna and Okoye, right? They were he was like, warrior, what's up? Let's throw these hands again. And I really like that.
I don't know if he was flirting with Shuri more so as opposed
to
like,
everything.
I think Namor just dripping sex. I don't necessarily think.
I think it's a little bit of that, but I don't know. We've had this conversation with Shang
several times. Yeah.
Yo, it's only white people we ever see it, and that's because white people be doing too much. When Black people flirt, it's a little, how you doing? Oh, why you got that?
He did give her his mother's bracelet though. Like.
He gave her his mother's bracelet, which
that wasn't the same one. That wasn't the same one.
It was.
What you mean? She
that's
it
why
looked similar, but it wasn't the same one.
It was the same one. That's why I had that plant in it.
I paid attention the second time I watched it. It wasn't the same one.
It was. I promise
you. I
watched both times because the
first time. I'm telling you, I'll look for it. It wasn't.
I'm telling you, I did too, and I was like, oh, and that's why the plant was in there.
So
he
with
said
that,
this was my. He actually says it. He says this was my mother's,
and that's not the one that he gives her though.
He says this was my mother's.
Yeah, he said this was my mother's.
Oh, yeah, I gotta watch it again.
You gotta watch it again.
I saw it 3 times.
You gotta watch it again. He said, "This is my mother's. Keep it." You saw.
He doesn't tell her to keep that one.
You did not go to the 11:40. You was with me.
I saw it again with the kids.
When you saw it?
This weekend.
Okay.
But with that, do y'all ship Namor and Shuri?
I don't ship.
Because I know there's a lot of that.
Well, you can't ship him now. He killed the mom.
I mean, yeah, I don't ship him with nobody but myself. Okay. I'm just saying what I saw. And
No,
what I
it reminds me of that meme I said to y'all in the chat was where they said Namor calls himself the Cuckoo Khan. I want to give him my cuckoo coochie.
Yeah, facts. Facts. Somebody said now I gotta pull up the bootleg version. I think it was but yeah, from a story report too, it was clearly his mom's necklace.
Namor is basically Prince. He just oozes hypnotic sex appeal.
I said that. I said that, and people was like, people were gay.
Isn't Shuri like 18? Nah, Shuri's like
she's 27.
She's like,
it's 6 years past since Black Panther. Oh no, 6 years past since Infinity War.
Yeah,
no,
she was
6 years past since Infinity War, so even longer since Black Panther.
Yeah,
and they said, well, no, they said it's like 2025, and she was born in 96.
It's 2026 because they gave us another year in this movie, so.
Yeah, so it was like 2026, and she was born in 97.
Oh, yeah.
But even if she was blipped, she's still like 24, 25, you know? She wasn't 18.
Yeah, I think it was a big mistake blipping her, but that they couldn't have foreseen what was going to happen, so.
Yeah, I agree. But she also wasn't like a kid in the first Black Panther movie.
Yeah, she was. They were calling her a child because she was like 19. But she wasn't, and she had clearly been the head of the science department for a while. But I think they said in the first movie she was like 20.
And she was blipped, but also time has passed since the blip. So
okay. What was the other one? Okay, so we're going into she takes the fruit. She breaks up Namor's mom's heirloom so she can make a new heart-shaped thing, and she goes into the ancestral plane. And what I thought was one of the best scenes of the movie, it's not her mom, which it looks like it's the top of her hood dress, and then
but we knew as soon as it happened. We knew before it happened, though.
Yeah, I didn't know until I saw him. I thought it was her. I thought that's why they killed Angela Bassett. I was like, oh, they're gonna kill Angela Bassett so that because she can't see Chadwick in the ancestral plane. So I was like, oh, that's why they killed Angela Bassett. So I was shocked when I saw. Also, quick little did you miss it moment. She comes into the ancestral plane through water because the heart-shaped thing plant is made from the Namor. And I want to know, can she breathe out the water now, or can she do a little? I mean, it's synthetic, but that was
she probably made it towards more like her heart shape, or she even used her brother's DNA to help do it. So
you're right. So it's closer to hers, but either way, she did wake up in water and then came out dry out of the water, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, remember when when they made their heart-shaped herb, they used it with their ingredients or whatever.
Right. Oh yeah,
and the kid prepared it and stuff.
And it came,
That's another question. They remember like when they have challenge day, they have something to take away the heart-shaped herb. Like, could they have used something like that to just strip the powers?
No, well, not of Namor.
No, not Namor. Definitely not Namor, but the other Atlanteans.
There's so many of them. How they gonna do it? To start darts? And also, once again, the Wakandans are cruel, right? To do that to them means that they have to leave Talokan. So I guess in theory they could, especially now that they have the herb, they can like reverse engineer it, but I don't think they would.
And that's what I'm saying about the tech. They don't have a scientist like that in Talokan, not one. So
I don't think they needed one.
They're not for their lifestyle, definitely not.
Right. And I think that's what, because we did see a lot of really advanced, they had a universal translator on their neck. They had a universal translator. They had a universal face mask.
Face mask. Breathing apparatus.
I mean, that stuff is cool, but that's just stuff I've seen. Like the stuff that you see in Wakanda is like ridiculous.
But that's because the need for it, right?
Yeah.
They need ships. They need, planes and stuff like that. Nobody was messing with the Talokans. You know what I mean?
We can't go that deep.
So they wasn't tripping. But they did have the technology to fix the suits, the deep water suits. They fixed them both. So I was like, oh, so they have access to it. They clearly speak the languages. They're very knowledgeable, but I just think there's no need for them to go to that. It's like, you go to Jamaica.
There's definitely some level of science for them to create those bombs.
Those bombs was fucking high tech.
And I
don't think they was high tech, they were just powerful.
Both, right?
But
To be
yeah, it's both.
powerful,
That's still a level of science though, because
It
you
is.
gotta.
It is.
they were the
And then not
size
just
of
that, but the weapons that they
It
had.
took more skill to use it than tech. You know what I mean? Because they had to
It did
throw
not. They
them.
just had to throw it.
Yeah, that's a skill.
You mean kids learn that in T-ball?
Nah, they
How
were
to
throwing them
throw.
very, very efficiently, very
Yeah, they
effective.
were throwing.
Like,
They
when,
were,
That's
when he threw it to Okoye, he bounced it over something else, and he knew she was going to
But
hit
that's
it.
practice. You could do that in a kid's game.
I'm
is
saying
what
that's skill. I'm just saying that they're skillful.
Skill
That's
that
what I'm
comes from
saying.
practice. It's not
Okay.
a Wakandan. It's not Okoye putting a spear through a car and knowing that the car is going to do a certain way. That's a different type of skill than throwing a ball.
I think that's more. Yeah.
They
more
was just
science
throwing
involved in it.
balls. Water balloons. That's all they was doing was throwing balls. And that's what I'm saying.
It is a skill that you can practice though, because I ain't gonna lie. If you ask me to throw something and hit a target, I ain't hitting it. It's going because not even just. Cause remember, Frankie, we tried to play darts at the other.
I'm good at darts.
I was good at that, but that's what I'm saying. But if it was for your life, if they like when you out in the field, this is it. You gonna be practicing until you're good. It doesn't take talent. Let me say that. Like it's a skill you can learn. You don't have to. It's not like dancing where no matter what you can't throw this ball.
All
you
right.
know.
All right.
But yeah, but they got, like I said,
got a
the
question for you,
weapons that
Frankie.
they have, but then the fact like Namor's like adornments and the all the others that they had, like there's some level of science.
Yeah.
In Talakan.
But I get what he's saying. It's not as advanced. It's not as advanced as Wakanda. That's
no,
clear.
It's not as
my man
they don't have force fields.
Was drumming on water to open up the barrier, bro.
No, but even those tunnels they were using to get around, they weren't at first I was like, oh, are those currents? And then I was like, they're not currents because he like summoned them.
Yeah, he summoned them.
Yeah.
So that's the technology too.
He brought the sun underwater. That's wild technology.
Yeah, that light that they had.
That's literally what the arc reactor was supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's just that they're the same level. I think they just don't need that. They don't need boats, right? They don't need ships. Right. They got whales to fucking propel them with precision.
Yeah.
That's what takes talent. How they taught them whales to throw.
I mean, they could probably talk to them.
Saying they can't perform surgery in Thailand. We don't know that.
Now, they probably not need to.
Now, more can't perform surgery, but
they probably don't need to.
There might be doctors.
It's very rare that they get injured like that.
And I think the woman was suggesting that Namor be healing niggas because that's what she asked him. Save me? But he was like, "You about to die right now, mama. I can't. Yeah. I don't even got the time." Like,
right.
But yeah, you had a question.
Oh yeah, it's like so. Killmonger was clearly a villain. There was like a point where he went too far. Since you think Namor is a villain, at what point did he go too far?
I knew he was a villain when he killed all those scientists. I think and honestly, I knew Killmonger was a villain before then, and I hated that they had him kill his girlfriend to display that he was a villain. I thought that was on the nose. I was like, we already get what he's about to do. He's destabilizing the country. But I think I was like, this is for sure not an anti-hero at all, because a scientist, I was on the fence, like maybe he's like the Punisher or whatever. Was when he destabilized Wakanda, I said, oh, now you fucking the black people now. To make your point. It was to make his point that he killed so many black people. And it was when they started walking off the boat, they were singing the siren songs. I was like, this is not.
Wait. What is this? Where did Killmonger go too far? What do you mean? Where did Killmonger go too far?
For me, it wasn't even killing the girlfriend was definitely wrong, but
the girlfriend
he could have came back from that. It was choking the elder.
He was choking the
elders. He burned all their resources.
Burnt the heart-shaped herbs.
That was pure villainy because he didn't really care about Wakanda.
He killed one of the Dora. He killed one of the Doras.
All the stuff that he was talking about, like, oh, I want to help these people. And like, he took the heart-shaped herb and then burned the rest. That was a him thing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But even Namor,
I agree.
He doesn't care.
Namor is an antagonist. I think Killmonger is a villain.
Even Namor doesn't even care about Wakanda. He says that to Namora, right? He's like, even the painting he does at the end is out of his own like vanity. He's like, yeah, I fought this fucking Panther. But his whole thing is not because Wakanda, he empathizes. He's like, Wakanda's the only place that's going to help me conquer the world. We need them. And he was like, whatever we can do to get them is how we're going to do it.
Hold on, wait a minute. We got a celebrity in the
Wow,
stream right
50
now.
Beans.
50 Beans. She got that's how she got money. She rich like Wakanda. Hold up. Sharonda from Pay Your Weight. We're not worthy to be for her to jump in the stream. Maybe Michael will answer my phone calls right now. Hold up. First of all, you're not gonna call me out on Beyonce's internet because guys, we got to give you some backstory right here. Because I called Sharonda earlier because I wanted her to be in this live stream tonight. She didn't answer my phone calls. She didn't answer my texts. And yeah, she's wild homophobic.
It's insane. It's insane
because I wanted her to be on the stream tonight. She's like, nah, I don't want to be on some gay nigga channel. Like, what you mean? Yeah, she said, tell Michael and Frankie to acknowledge my existence. I tried to acknowledge you by having you on the stream tonight, but you too busy for me apparently.
You famous.
Frankie partied and she still made it.
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't call it partying. It was a work dinner.
What? I'm mad at Sharonda. She was talking mad ish about Wakanda Forever. Dang.
Was she talking ish or was she critiquing it?
Probably, but I was on the plane. I literally just planes don't got Wi-Fi.
That's crazy. She could have did it from the phone.
Yeah, you could have did it from your phone on the plane. You give me $50 super chats. Pay that $5 Wi-Fi fee to get on the stream.
Do it.
Or hold on, you said you just literally got home. I could send you a link right now. You could jump in. And what? hit me in the thing. Let me know. I can send you a thing right now. But anyway, Frankie.
Sorry. We were at the destroying of the Capitol.
Yeah.
And the death of Ramonda. Oh no. We were past that. We're at what's her name?
But I still think that wasn't being him being
an excuse. She just said she was home. Now she talking about she in an Uber.
Atlanta big.
I think that was more of like something that he said he was going to do. Like he said, I will kill you if you do this. And it's like at that point, like when you're that powerful, you're a leader and you said you were going to do something and you have your people looking at you. Like he had to kill her.
I think he had to kill her. I just think he didn't have to kill everyone else.
Especially when Namora instigating the whole thing. Like
that's how it be when somebody put the battery in your back, bro.
No, nobody put the battery in Namora's back until the end. And even then, he very, very lightly got her off his back. He said, I got a plan, Mama. She said, I trust you. And that was it. So I don't think there was much.
Even at the end of the day, like he ultimately got what he wanted. By the end of the movie, like he wanted an alliance with Wakanda, and that's what he got.
It. That's what I'm saying. It all worked out. He knew they was gonna come around once he started shaking shit up. But yeah, I think, and since we're moving into the herb, I was talking about how surprised I was by Killmonger, but I love that dialogue between the two of them because it made sense that Shuri would be angry and want revenge, and I love that she called him because I was like, this makes sense.
No, it made a lot of sense. Like I loved him being there, and I love the moment where she was just like, "We not that different, you and I. Like I wanted revenge for my people, and you want revenge for your people. What's the difference?"
Yeah, exactly.
And then I love the juxtaposition of like, because the whole thing about Killmonger, he's like, "I'm gonna burn it all. You see him in the burning the throne room with all the heart-shaped herbs around, but then in the same instance. When Shuri started getting angry, what happened? The throne room started igniting and catching on fire, which is another callback.
Right. I love that. I mean, it's very
dope ass scene, yeah.
Dope scene.
The audience reaction when he turned around though was bananas.
Yeah. It was one thing to watch it at the premiere versus like in the wild.
Yeah, the wild is like better. Like in the premiere, everybody, I think a lot of people are critics or they've seen it already.
Or they respect it.
No, people being more quiet. Because even the moment with Namora, which actually we didn't really talk about, them finally saying mutant in the MCU, there was no reaction at the premiere. Yeah, but in the regular audiences, people were like,
it was in the trailer. It was in the trailer, but it
didn't. He said that in the trailer?
I didn't watch the trailer.
I didn't watch the trailer either.
I didn't watch the trailer, but I saw people react to the trailer.
Look at we already talked. Yeah, we already talked about that.
I'll F the ish out of because
the nipples.
They spent a half an hour.
The nipples were nippling. Yeah, the nipples were nippling.
You missed it. Sharon gonna come in late talk about no more. That's my boo, baby. You keep Chris. She want that white man. Keep that ass. I'm gonna keep the Speedos.
I love that white version of his black cardigan trench he wore in part 1.
Yes, that is what he. That was the last fit he had.
Not Nine-Tails Phoenix. They didn't say mutant in Miss Marvel. They just said you
They
have
played
a
the music.
Yeah, they said you have a mutation, and then they played.
I mean,
No, they
more
did
than enough.
have. They did say mutant. They didn't call her a mutant, but they said the word mutant, and that's why it was called, right?
Nah,
No, they said
she said
mutation. They just said mutation. You have a mutation.
I do remember they put the guitars, the strings on.
I mean, we had Professor X in the whole MCU movie already, so mutants are here.
Yeah, but I'm
That's
saying,
what
but they
saying. I
never
wasn't too
said the
hyped.
word. They never said the word.
Yeah,
mutant.
but it's already been confirmed with
Yeah.
Professor X. So I was like, if that didn't happen, I would have been like, yo, but because it did, I was like, all right,
Yeah.
we already know. Okay, so after that, Shuri devises a plan to get the Telecons, which I thought was stupid. Why was it so far away from land?
It was so far away from land. Like
they was getting washed.
You're gonna go to somebody's territory and think you about to win because they were like, "Let's go back to Wakanda real
with,
quick." Like,
with one, and then they tried to leave.
I think that
was like, "Where y'all going?"
I think that was the only place she thought that she could lead them to. She probably couldn't lead them to land. They wouldn't have went.
Probably not, but at least have like a plan. Like they all
They
jump.
should have had an exit strategy.
Yeah, like some flight suits. Some flight suits or something. Like they all had those fireflies, and
like I'm saying, the level of tech they have is so high. They really could have teleported off of there. Like they could have teleported off of there.
It was not thought through. I think she thought when she took Namor out, or maybe they thought they had a lot of.
They also didn't know the ship was going to get sunk or whatever. Whatever Namor.
What did they think? He said there's a gazillion of them.
Mm-hmm.
So like, how long was that sonic blast going to work?
But when the kid talked to Shuri, she was like, yeah, I don't even know if we're gonna make it out of this. So they probably a lot of them were thinking that they weren't even gonna win. So
you're right. They were like, well, let's just at least kill Namor, because that's what she was saying. Like, I'm gonna just kill him and get my revenge. What did you think about that final fight scene?
I was very impressed.
Same.
I was very impressed.
Not even just I thought all the action scenes were great. Like I don't think there was a weak action scene in this movie or a chase scene with the car.
Yeah, and then the people who keep saying that like Letitia Wright's not big enough or she's not like she didn't go straight hand to hand with him. Even when they were on the ship, she took her time. She made sure he got dehydrated before she even put hands on him.
Yeah,
she was behind the whole barrier. Like I'm gonna get your ass weight. I'm gonna get your ass
she like get the heat.
Thinking,
even when she won by getting she burnt that nigga.
She burnt his back. Yeah,
exactly.
she was losing
because even before this, she was losing.
Yeah.
Stabbed her right in the stomach.
Girl was in the ancestral plane. She was about to dip, yo. But people just didn't like her. I thought I really liked that it was quiet.
Yeah,
like the fight scene was just the sounds of hands and feet being thrown, and I really liked that. The music was low, and it felt very dangerous.
Yeah, when she took his wings, this might be my favorite part of the movie.
Like, are they gonna grow back?
Yeah, they're gonna grow. I think they're gonna grow back.
Yeah.
Y'all saying y'all know? We don't know.
I mean, he's lost them in the comics before, but it's not the comics. I know
it's not the comics.
I think they're gonna grow back just in the sense of like, because he's gonna get his own movie. We're gonna see him like
his own movie could be him learning how to not fly.
Yeah, or just fly crooked.
Yeah, fly crooked, trying to make a new one out of vibranium.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Even with the heart-shaped herb, she's not as strong.
With the heart-shaped herb and him being dehydrated, he dog walked her.
Yeah, but I'm saying with the heart-shaped herb, she's still not as strong. As,
no in there, yeah.
Even if it was T'Challa is not as strong as Namor.
Yeah, and they were losing crazy. Like she beat Namor, but the Telecons were winning.
Yeah. Handily.
They were definitely winning. Like they were on the edge of the boat. They were about to fall into that ocean. Like, if they fell in that ocean, it's over.
You ever drop like some food at a picnic and you see all the ants over
all the ants like
that's how it reminded me. I said, I don't even see ship no more. And they were in a little circle, the 6 of them, with number Telecons around them. I was like,
on the sides and on top. Like even the Midnight Angel suit wasn't really doing shit.
I think it was underutilized. They should have got more burn or made the suits look better because they came in, they got like 2 hits and got washed anyway.
I did have to mention because I realized a lot of people didn't know. Riri's suit, the new one, is made out of vibranium. That's also why Shuri's
Gonna
like,
take it
you
home.
can't
Yeah,
go,
Shuri said
you can't take this
you
home.
can't take this home.
Yeah.
That's why
And
when Namora climbed on her and started stabbing her with the spear, it wasn't piercing through because
Mhm.
her suit is also
Mhm.
vibranium.
Yeah, and I like, not to get away from the movie, but I want to see where Riri goes after this. Like, after having access to vibranium, what can she do now?
Cause ain't no way whatever new suit she making will
And
never
not,
be as
yeah,
fly.
and nah,
I hope
Yeah,
that
no,
gives
it will
her
always be a
descent into
downgrade.
madness.
yeah,
It will always be a downgrade.
yeah.
But
But
yeah.
we could see her go back. I was talking to Mike earlier. It's big spoiler. We could see her go back to Wakanda because
Shuri.
Shuri.
There's
But that's
nothing.
another thing. Sure, Shuri can flip and dip with the heart-shaped herb enhanced powers, but can't fight. I was like, block or something, Ma. I mean,
Nah,
Shuri,
Namor is-
I think Shuri can fight because just in the sense of being born and raised in Wakanda, like even when she was fighting the other Telecons before she got to Namor, but at the same time, Namor's a better warrior. He's been alive for way
Yeah.
longer than her,
Yeah.
and
You
he's
gotta
more,
put it. You gotta put
and
it.
he's more battle ready. This is her
Yeah.
first fight.
You gotta put it in perspective. It's like Captain America versus the Hulk.
it's the
Like,
third fight.
Yeah, it's Captain America versus the Hulk. Like, she's a super.
Well, I
She's
meant
a
her
super.
like overall. It's like
Yeah.
her first time being
Yeah.
tested in battle.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
she was in the Endgame battle.
Oh
and
yeah,
she was in the Infinity
But
War
technically,
battle. Them shits was
even
not
well, I was
easy.
gonna say, but even
Yeah.
then, she was still using. She wasn't like
Yeah, she
fighting
was
hand to
u-
hand.
She was doing both.
Oh, I'm about to Google how much a helicopter weighs to put it in perspective.
Yeah. She was. She
I
was
mean,
doing
you don't even
both.
have to. Namor is 100-tonner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think people get that.
Also, like a helicopter thing. I think the Black Panther, he was throwing cars in the first movie.
Yeah, Spider-Man can throw a car.
Yeah, so you're saying but he was throwing like G wagons.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not G wagons. What's the other one that looks like a G wagon? Jeeps, right?
Yeah, 100,000 tons a helicopter. So yeah,
Look up G wagon.
a G-Wagon pretty heavy, but not as much as a helicopter.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. And he threw it with ease. But yeah, and then that's what I have here.
I do. Yeah, my
A
problem
G-Wagon
with
is
Shuri,
like 3 tons. 3 tons. Yeah,
Yeah,
my problem with Shuri was the fact that the tech in her suit didn't improve at all. I mean, she should have had better, but at the same time,
she
she didn't have enough time.
Yeah,
And
that
she
was the
wanted
suit
to
that she
fuck him up
made.
with
That was the
hands.
Killmonger suit, right? That was the suit that she made.
No,
Yeah,
she made it for her.
She made it for her, but I think it was an homage to Killmonger, hence all the
Mm.
gold accents.
Because she picked up Killmonger's helmet and
Mm.
put it back down and then went to her helmet.
Mm.
And that's why it had way more. It was smaller. She a third of that man's size.
But I
yeah.
did see people criticizing the Justice comment, criticizing that line that Namor said when he talked about when he went up to the surface world to go bury his mother, and he talked about how they spoke ill about him and that hateful language. You know, people are mad that he called Spanish a hateful language, but
yeah, y'all colonized so much.
Yeah,
of the
y'all
world.
colonized so much. Yeah, like
That's why I can't believe
They get
he
so
watched
mad.
him
They get
kill
so
you
some
think
slaves
granted,
on Earth.
granted, Tenoch Huerta is Mexican. He speaks Spanish, but you think that's his people's original language?
But that's what he's saying.
Yeah,
and
I know.
And he's saying he's not indigenous either. He's like, I'm not indigenous, but I understand. Right?
So like, even English, I speak English, but English is a hateful language. It's not the language of my people. It's not like
exactly. I love that Namor was so rah-rah. And that's why I was like, I don't want to see him honestly with anyone that's not from Telecom. Yeah. Like, it doesn't make sense.
I can see him with I guess, like I said, like reminding him of his mother. I can see him with like a Mexican woman, like a land dwelling Mexican.
She would
woman.
have to look just like
his
her.
mother, yeah.
Scarily so.
Like cast the same actress.
Yeah, no, that ass. Or I'm gonna be like, this is weird.
Saying she made the midnight. She made the midnight. She was making those in the beginning of the movie. Remember, she didn't know she was going to be the Black Panther, so she was trying to improve the tech for everything else around Wakanda. Because remember, even when you think about the beginning of the movie, where Queen Ramonda came in her lab, and she was like, "What are you doing? Are you trying to work on fixing the Black Panther?" She's like, "No, we don't need the Black Panther. We need new technology." So she was working on that. She wasn't focused on improving the powers of the Black Panther until everything happened with Namor drowning Wakanda, and then there wasn't really any time. She was like, "Nah, I'm going to."
She's trying to make the herb. That took up most of her time. and Riri wasn't really helping because she was making her own shoe and probably
Yeah,
working on the midnight.
she was
And the
yeah, she was
midnight
making
and
her own
working
suit.
and working on the thing to zap to dry out Namor too.
And, and to dry out Namor.
And working on that Sonic thing to put on the boat. They had a lot of work.
And
to
the
do,
Unibeam, yo. She popped out
yo,
the Unibeam.
come on, y'all. Give her a moment. Give her a moment. I loved her. I loved her as Ironheart. I thought she was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm way more excited about her her Disney Plus show than I was before.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm scared. I'm still scared though because her original origin is like pretty like black, so much black trauma. I wonder like how far they'll go into that, you know, or if they'll change it at all.
I mean, considering how, because she was hella black in this movie.
Yeah.
So because of that,
they could do it right. They could do it right and like do it and still do it right. But do you want to see Marvel boys in the hood?
No. Do you? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm starting to trust Marvel a little bit more.
Yeah, I do trust them. I'm still a little
Marvel boy. After I saw what they did with Isaiah Bradley,
mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, maybe.
Because I wasn't expecting. I was like, wait, this Disney? Like
Disney did this? Yeah, or Miss Marvel? Miss Marvel got pretty.
Miss Marvel gave me a whole history lesson, so
I didn't know shit about.
I didn't know shit about that. Yeah,
but even beyond Partition, the way they pistol with Bruno, because he was aligned with the Muslims, I was like, oh, they're ready to go there. So I don't think I would mind them exploring that, and I think everything doesn't have to be like clean. You know, so I'd be down. I wonder, you think Tony gonna be her AI? You think Robert?
Nah, I think Shuri might give her AI at this point. I think they're distancing themselves from.
Yeah, she
from
might.
Tony.
She might keep.
What do you mean distancing? They recreated like 4 scenes from the first Iron Man. They put her in a wife beater, had her clanking metal.
Yeah, they did. I don't think.
What are you talking about?
Because I'm like, unless they're willing to pay, because you know, Tony, Robert Downey Jr. coming back
$50 million for a voice over.
The first $50 million voice in that. We for a show.
We ain't doing that.
For a show, what you got going? He's so rich, yo. I looked him up. His net worth is more than Kevin Feige, which is crazy. And also the first time we see the tech, one of the cops said, "Oh shit, is that Stark tech?
Yeah, is that oh shit? She got an Iron Man suit."
Yeah, they say I talk about they try to separate. They was making sure anyone who didn't know about Riri,
and her name is Ironheart. Like it would make sense for her to say she's inspired by it, and she's going to the same school that he spoke at a Civil War.
She's probably one of the MIT.
I think if we do see Tony,
winners,
it'd be a different Tony because you heard the rumors that they were looking for a young Tony Stark, right?
Oh, maybe.
No, I didn't.
I
didn't know that.
But why would she pick the young Tony when the Iron Man was old Tony?
It could be Young Avengers. It could be time travel. It could be Kang. It could be a lot of stuff.
Not painting the suit and getting her hair braided to be bothered with upgrading the. You know how long it takes to work on machinery compared to getting your hair braided? Like
y'all niggas don't know what to do when Zoom lock you out, and y'all talking about why she ain't had gauntlets. Also, she did have gauntlets on her suit.
Who, Sherry?
Yeah, she had gauntlets, but they're talking about, but they're saying more than just the gauntlets.
They got fucked up. She tried them. She was like, "Oh nah," and she
not even just that, but the suit was nanotech, all that. Like,
come on, she doesn't need it. Also, she doesn't need it. She needed the gauntlets because she didn't have the strength. So she like, I don't know how well I can do with hand to hand. But now she don't need that. So, but yeah.
Do you think Namor was like humble? Because that probably the first time he ever been fucked up.
He seemed activated to me. Yeah. I do think he was surprised. Yo, in my notes, I said, "What you put in my drink?" When Namor was on the ship. So when he got on the ship and she turned on that dehydrator, he looked like, what movie is that where they drug? Like I think it's Boys in the Hood. And he was like, "What you put in my drink?" Like I don't know. He was shocked. He was shocked that they did something to her.
That's funny because
he's been weakened.
Yeah, that's exactly how T'Challa beat Namor in the comics. He got him drunk, which dehydrated him. So when they actually wound up fighting, Namor wasn't as strong as he should have been.
And so with that, to answer this question, I do think Namor earned Shuri's respect. I mean, even that conversation that he had at the end.
Yeah,
he's like,
go ahead.
I was gonna say with Namora, basically, he's like, yeah, like Wakanda's gonna need us, like,
yeah.
I
thought he was activated more than anything else.
Like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah?
like, we out. Okay, you know what? No, yeah, let's go. And that's why he drew that picture. He said, this is a chronicle of what's gonna happen next. And at the end of the day, Namor got what he wanted.
Yeah, he got what he wanted.
The least amount of casualties. I mean, Wakanda was
Yeah, Wakanda got the most casualties. The Tolo Khans are fine. Like, besides
I mean,
the one
I
girl,
love the movie, but I really didn't want to see that. Like, we already saw Wakanda get invaded two times already. It's the third time we seeing people trying to destroy Wakanda.
That's what I'm
and like
saying.
as a black person, it's just like, you know, you think about Black Wall Street and all these things that we every time we do something we build up, it's like somebody's always coming for us.
And that's the thing I was gonna say. I feel like the Marvel specifically, I feel like they kind of did that on purpose to be like, we're showing these powerful black, but we need to take these niggas down a little bit.
Down a notch.
That's why I was saying at the end, y'all, and you guys seen it 3 times. At the end, when M'Baku comes off that boat, he says, Shuri will not be making it, and I challenge for king. Right? Yes, no?
Yeah.
Okay. People are fighting me tooth and nail, like, he is not king. I was like,
he's obvious. Shuri is not ruling. That's not
Shuri's not ruling. No,
Shuri is not ruling. Now, they did kind of leave it open. Maybe somebody will challenge him, but it's not going to be Shuri.
No,
it's someone else, probably another man. And that was my point, that like they did this full woman centric movie, and then they're like, okay, I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Shuri, go ahead and step back for me, because the next Black Panther movie, minimum 6 years from now, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing that annoys me when people try to say this movie's anti-man. I'm like, you know, the movie ended with a black man as the king of Wakanda, right?
Yeah.
Again.
And they showed the next Black Panther.
Yeah, they showed.
It may not be that actor, but and they're like, he's gonna be too young. I was like, first of all, time jump.
Yeah. Kang.
Grow up. He's
Kang can come to Wakanda right now.
Especially with the multiverse and all that. We can find an adult version, like.
He could be in the Young Avengers movie.
Open your mind.
Steve Rogers went from America's ass to On Depends in the same movie.
Exactly.
Like, so go ahead and log out. Round one.
Did you say, Frankie?
She said log out.
Oh.
You muted.
Sorry, y'all. I said go ahead and log out, and I got it. My bad. But yes. So Ron, we'll go with you. What would you rate this movie?
I already rated at the beginning.
Oh, you did. We did rate it.
It's still an
A, in the face. Let's say in the face. Final thoughts, and what would you rate it in the face?
It's definitely the best out of Phase 4, but I think people shit on Phase 4 too much. Phase 4 had a lot of good stuff. Like I enjoyed Black Widow. I enjoyed the only movie I didn't like was Thor.
Right.
Thor was I think Black Widow was okay, Thor was okay, and Doctor Strange was okay.
What about Eternals? Shang-Chi. That's all fake.
Oh, Shang-Chi was amazing.
No, Shang-Chi was great. Eternals.
Shang-Chi was okay. It's good.
Yeah, I like
it.
It
was flawed. It was good with flaws.
I like Eternals.
It's crazy because we're talking about a film that we're saying is like an A or a 9, but these films are like 8s and 7s. They're still good films. It's just Black Panther's way better, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
I will say I feel like people try to shit on, like, people try to act like Phase 4 is so bad compared to the other phases.
I mean, we just only because
I feel like a lot of that is because, like, unlike the other phase, every phase in like Marvel prior to Phase 4 ended with like an Avengers movie. So like there was hype, but like think about Phase 1. What you had, the first Iron Man, which is great. A lot of people didn't like Thor. There's a lot of people that didn't really like the first Captain America movie. I like the first Captain America movie.
I never watched it, and I never probably will.
But like, what was good in Phase 1 besides like the first Iron Man, like the best quality in terms of the first Iron Man, and then the first Avengers, then the first Avengers movie. Then
Avengers, you rewatch Avengers, it's not as good as it was. It's not. Avengers 1 is not that good.
Doesn't
really.
It doesn't hold up. No, it's not.
But it's not bad. I still love the first Avengers.
I'm gonna age myself, but the first Avengers came out at my college graduation, and I dragged everyone, including my grandmother, in the wheelchair to that. Like everybody was like, where you want to go to dinner? I was like, we are watching the Avengers. And it came out that night, and I made my parents call the theater and get us all tickets for the first
That's
Avengers.
crazy. I did that with Winter Soldier. Like I saw it and it was so good. I dragged everybody I knew to see it. Like, come watch this movie with me. Come watch this movie with me.
My
And then, like,
grandma was there. What was she doing there? This
I
is
don't know.
devil's work.
At
But I was like, Grandma, you gonna watch it? She was like, can't we go to Carmine's? No.
least you didn't take
The
us to Harry
fuck?
Potter.
You finna watch? Facts.
You know Harry Potter's the devil.
Because it wasn't out. It wasn't out. But she was like, oh, what is this for? I was like, Grandma, they can look. You gotta watch. I cried when Coulson died. Nah. It was the
That's what I'm saying. When I first saw it, I said, this is the best movie ever. I watch it now and I'm like, it's all right.
Nah, I still love the first Avengers movie. It's in my top 5. But even getting to phase 2, what was good? Iron Man 2? Thor 2
was a commercial.
Exactly.
Iron Man 2 is a commercial. I don't even say it's bad. It was a commercial.
Thor the Dark World? Like, what was good about that?
But then
the Loki
Winter Soldier came out.
Yeah, Winter Soldier was like the best thing in phase 2.
Well, it was the best thing ever, so
I'm just saying, like, people make it seem
that's
like
why you reacted.
You make it seem like all these other phases were great, and it's like,
yeah, but
what? Of course, you had the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. That was that movie was great, and then of course Age of Ultron, which a lot of people criticized.
Age of Ultron keeps getting better because they keep adding stuff to it.
Because they keep adding stuff to it from that.
By itself, standing alone, it's not good.
It's not good, but you know why? There wasn't enough to build a good Age of Ultron. We only had the OG Avengers.
Yeah.
But I think what made the comic book so great is that like everybody was getting fucked up. It was like them trying to uprise, and he does win, right? Like I think that was it. It was like he was a 3-day threat used to set up Black Panther and stuff.
Yeah.
Phase 3 went off though.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, even with Phase 3, the first Doctor Strange movie wasn't. I didn't really like the first Doctor Strange.
Yeah, but I thought it was cool. But then Black Panther was in.
Black Panther. Yeah, so
the best Civil War, right?
the best phase. The best. Yes, Civil War started Phase 3. So yeah, the best phase was Phase 3.
Yeah.
So
yeah, phase.
It's just hard to live up to.
But I think
you also had Endgame and Infinity War as well in Phase 3.
But I think Phase 5 is about to be insane because
Phase 5 is definitely about to be insane.
Was setting up a lot of stuff in the way that Phase 1 and 2 was. But they were able to do it all in one phase because they also had the TV shows, which honestly, y'all be acting like those TV shows did slaps. A lot of them ended weird, but Miss Marvel,
they always fail to stick the landing.
I think Miss Marvel to me was my favorite of the shows. She-Hulk was cool, but it was great, and then it ended great. But then the way that it ended was so good, it made me not like the show.
Because
I was like, I was like, we could have got this. I didn't know we could have did this.
Now, my favorite episode of She-Hulk was episode 7.
I love
Daredevil.
The Daredevil episode. It wasn't even because of Daredevil. It's just what the show represents. Like, that was the episode that really showed that this could be a lawyer show and a superhero show at the same time.
Yes, I agree. And also, like, I really love the changes Charlie Cox did to Daredevil. He was a totally different version.
Yeah. And I love the walk of shame.
With his shoes, with his boots
with the boots off.
Like they were heels. What the fuck? Like, why? I like that.
But for me, I gotta say, because I'm like, I can't not talk about the show. And my Frankey muted again. Why Frankey? Frankey.
I'm watching her mic now.
Yeah, me too. I'm watching the mic. Hold up.
Yeah.
When I try to unmute it says I can't unmute it.
You
muted again.
Yeah, I can hear you this whole time, but yeah, my bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
And then somebody just said, please tell me Black Panther 3 will let Wakanda survive. No, we're going to see Wakanda attacked again.
Yeah, we're going to see Wakanda attacked again by the Americans because they even talked about, like, they want to destabilize Wakanda. So,
damn, y'all got to talk about it without me. I got to work in the morning. It's about to be 1 a.m.
And I feel like Thunderbolts and all that stuff is going to be, they're going to try to maybe invade Wakanda.
Yeah.
But yeah, last thing I'll say, because I'm like, because it's something I have to talk about in terms of like my rating or whatever of the movie. I will say like Marvel did what Marvel did. Like my biggest criticism about the movie is the whole gay aspect. Like they keep talking about, you know, the importance of representation in this movie, the Black representation, indigenous representation. But then you literally get a gay couple, Anika and Ayo, and it's just like
it was not gay.
It was a blink and you're missing moment.
And then they made such a big deal of casting.
They made a big deal of casting Michaela Cole. She barely had a role.
Exactly. And those two characters have such a big part in Ta-Nehisi Coates' Black Panther run. Like you figured there'd be more to it, but there wasn't.
Well,
so honestly, it makes me very nervous about Young Avengers. That's the last. Yeah, that's the last.
I think they're also gonna do a Midnight Angels show, right?
Oh, there is a Wakanda show. You're right.
There is a Wakanda show. Yeah.
So maybe they'll flesh it out then.
Oh, is she in that? Is Michaela Cole in that show?
I don't know.
We don't know.
But I mean, she was the only other one besides Okoye to wear the suit.
But even still, it's a lot of maybe. We get Loki and bisexual, and it's like a small reference.
I thought,
maybe the next time, and then we get Eternals, and it's barely a thing. And or we get Valkyrie and Thor: Love and Thunder. It's like a small reference. It's always it's constantly like, well, maybe in the next one it doesn't happen. Then maybe in the next one it doesn't happen, and then maybe in the next, like literally, they're a couple. And it's still like
in Eternals, I thought they were pretty.
They were a whole family.
It was a full family.
Nah,
he just was classy.
He should have sucked his dick in that movie. Like,
damn, that's crazy.
It's a Disney movie, bro.
It's a Disney movie, but
there's a whole sex scene in a Disney movie.
You're right.
They did have a sex scene.
Touche. You got it.
You should have had two.
They should have had two.
They're
about to go off to war. Like you never know. You don't know if this man coming back or not.
I do think maybe not sucking his dick, but I do think.
I mean, I don't literally mean that, but I mean, it should have been. If y'all married with a kid, you're doing more than just a.
Yeah, and I think the same with Valkyrie. I was like, there's not one scene in that montage of her getting out of bed with a woman. You know, with a woman like
you the king of Asgard. You should have had a whole ass harem, men and women.
Old Spice commercials. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm sorry it wasn't gay enough.
Same.
And that's sincere. I'm not like saying like I'm sorry. I'm saying like that shit sucks. That shit sucks. Like I would feel that same way if I was like, where's the blacks? Where's the women? And I did. I was like, yo, I gave the women shit and then took that shit away at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, maybe that's what 3 could be about. Like, you know,
they even announced 3. Y'all talk about 3.
I mean, I'm just saying they just said the Black Panther will return, but that could just be.
I'm saying you got Michaela Cole and what's the name? They could lead a coup against M'Baku.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But honestly, I think Ryan tired.
Yeah.
I mean, there's rumors.
I don't think he'll let nobody else do it.
There's rumors of him directing Secret Wars.
I heard that too. It's not even rumors. It's like talks. Like, yeah.
I think that'd be great. But I'm just saying, like, he may be tired of Black Panther. He may want to try something else. I'm not saying tired of Marvel.
I think the thing is, it's such a pivotal film. Like, it's such a big deal to like be doing this movie that even if you are tired, you just do it.
No, that's not true.
I think so.
Yo, what's his name? Just
like, look at how we surround this movie. Like, look how the culture comes together for this movie.
I agree. I think, and he did it twice, and I think this took a lot out of him.
Yeah, look at what. Granted, he's trash, but Joss Whedon was like, after 2 Avengers, he's like, I'm done.
It's so much pressure. I think it's a lot. It's the same with like Idris being when he finally got James Bond. After a while, it's like. I'm above that. Yeah, I don't even want it. And it's not, there's so much more pressure with the next one. People complaining about this film because it's so woman-centered. He's probably like, yeah, I enjoy that shit. I'm finna talk to these whites over here in Secret Wars, which is actually, there are a lot of people of color, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, well.
I was about to ask you. Yeah. So before
we did final thoughts.
So before, final thought before we end.
We just did
final thoughts.
We did post-credit scene, and then just in general, did y'all cry at all in the movie?
No.
I felt
not just the post-credit scene, but I just mean in general.
I felt the itch didn't come, especially during my second watch. I really felt like I was gonna cry, but I just didn't. So
I felt. My heartstrings were tugged at the second time I watched it because that theater was so silent.
It was
like during that tribute, the Marvel symbol tribute during the funeral. That I was like, dang, this shit is hard. And then people were like crying, boo-hooing. So I definitely felt it, but I'm not.
No, crying. I was the second watch when we went to AMC together at Lincoln. The final montage where Shuri burnt the funeral garments, and then the score was silent, and it just showed the montage of T'Challa.
Oh yeah, that did get me.
I cried. Yeah, I cried. Like, and I was like, it was like my chest got tight. And yeah, the tears just started coming at that moment. So
You're right. I did not cry, but that was when I was the closest to crying. Was when they cut the music, they cut
Yeah,
the
the music, like
score,
everything was cut,
and then she was
and
just
all you
thinking
heard was
about
just
him,
the wind in the background from her on the beach. Yeah, that got
trying
me.
to connect to him. Yeah, that's pretty good.
What do you think? Like besides like grieving and stuff like that, what do you think of like the themes of the film?
And grieving.
Grieving.
I thought it was grieving.
Yeah, grieving, and I think it was a lot of like respecting the past but still moving towards the future, which is part of grieving. But like just like,
grieving,
which is part of grieving. But I think they were also talking about that with tradition and like Shuri being so into tech and so against the Black Panther and all that, but she's wound up taking the mantle anyway.
I do think entering tradition with nuance was a part of it. Even when Ramonda read Okoye, you know, Okoye was right to back up Killmonger because of tradition, but Ramonda was like, why though? Y'all knew.
Even when the kid gave the herb to Shuri, it was like, we're doing this our way, you know what I mean? She's like, shouldn't you be burning incense or something? It's like, nah, we're not doing that no more. But we're still performing the traditions, just you know.
But she was also very nervous, right? She was like, you may have to,
you might have to
me. I don't know how to
cardiac arrest. It's also synthetic, so
yeah.
But last thing, Angela Bassett needs to get an Oscar for this.
Oh movie. Yeah, we didn't even touch that.
That scene shook me to my, like, every time I watch it.
Yeah,
the 3 times I've seen that scene. Chills in the throne room. I am the queen of the most powerful nation in the world.
Loved it. I think it was
Okoye and Ramont, like, and I'm glad that she brought up, like, I forgave y'all motherfuckers when you sided with Killmonger. Like,
you had me out here hiding in the woods.
Yeah, I had to run to this Jabari nigga who just tried to kill my son.
Well, I don't think he did what he was supposed to.
I mean,
right? That she wasn't tight about that, and that's why they went to him, because he's about tradition. But I think what I loved about that speech was that at first she was like, I was like, yo, you're wildin'. Like, she did her best, but as she was talking, I said,
she's like, I warned you not to take her, and you said, like, she with me, and look what happened.
Right.
She shouldn't even came home. I wouldn't even came home.
Nah. she didn't think she was gonna get fired. She's like, this is my girl.
Yeah, no, she was like, I request to go take an army to go, which I'm like, how you gonna get there?
Angela was my favorite. She said, what? Bitch, you fired. Exactly. What you talking about?
Yeah, get out of here, yo.
Yeah, she could have, and even that was giving her grace.
She could have put her to death.
She could have had her executed.
Yeah.
And that's what she said. She said, yo, get it up out my face. I should kill you.
Yeah.
I should kill you.
And I love how the other door were kind of like,
because they couldn't say shit.
They couldn't say shit. But anyway, yeah, I know it's
that was definitely one of her best performances, though. I'm talking about all the Angela Bassett roles. Like, I'm not just my just a comic book movie. Like, she showed her ass off. Like, that was ridiculous.
Dang, more than Tina Turner?
More than Tina Turner.
Yeah.
Nah, it's up there with Tina Turner. I can't say more.
I was like, wait a minute.
There was a lot of
that
pain
whole movie. She should have got an Oscar.
Yeah.
Did she?
She never. I think if that movie came out today, she would have got an Oscar.
Yeah. She's never won an Oscar. That's crazy.
She
never won an Oscar.
Yeah.
All the roles that
she
played.
And they gave Halle Berry one.
Yeah, because he had sex with a white man.
Yeah, with a white man. But yeah, anyway, it's almost 1:00. I know Frankie tired. Ron tired.
Excited.
Both of them tired. I'm unemployed. I don't got nothing to do. So I'm
glad he said it.
I'm gonna play God of War when this is over.
You ain't got no job, Tommy.
But if anybody is hiring, let me know, because I do need a job. A remote job at that. But so yeah, we gave our final thoughts. So I guess with that, Ron, you want to tell people where they could?
Oh, you could follow me at You Don't Read Comics on the Instagrams, the Twitters. We Read Comics on Twitter. You Don't Read Comics on Facebook. That's where a lot of my base is. You could check out my articles on my website. I still haven't finished the Black Panther review. I have a lot of other content that I forgot to put here that's going into it. I just been super busy. Follow me.
And hold on real quick. Queen Ramonda, you about to lose your job.
That's funny.
And check us out at Anime NYC this weekend, yo.
Oh
yeah, I forgot about that.
This weekend, yeah.
Yeah, if you're in the New York area, check us out, Anime NYC. We're gonna be there all 3 days, and on Saturday we are doing a couples cosplay, a thruples cosplay.
Thrupples cosplay.
Oh, we
Thrupples.
are.
We're doing
And
a
it's
thruples cosplay. I'm not
Damn,
gonna tell
does
you.
that mean
Not
we
gonna
have to
tell
do
you what it is.
Cyclops?
Huh?
Next time we have to do Cyclops in them.
Oh, that would be dope. That'd be dope. I'm down.
Oh, yeah, I should. I'm Cyclops because I got the glasses.
Okay.
I guess you're Jean then, Ron.
I don't mind. See, there you go. I'll be Gene.
Yeah, because I'm the tallest, so I have to be.
You're
I
not
should
taller
be.
than
Said.
me.
I'm not.
No,
Damn. Am I the shortest?
you might be, but it's like
Oh,
barely.
then I'm Wolverine. Yeah.
It's barely.
Then I gotta be Wolverine. But yeah. There you go.
But yeah, Frankie, you want to tell people where they can find you, and also what's coming next for you.
Oh,
What?
sorry guys. I'm sorry, I got some emails.
See, look, she's busy. She busy already. She got meetings after this.
I'm
I
tired.
don't got no meetings.
I'm so tired. Yes, what's up, everyone? My name is Fantastic Frankie. You can find me on the social FRANKEY, fantastic spelled regular. I have some projects cooking, can't really talk about them, but they're gonna be dope. So make sure you put on push notifications. And I have a comic book club I'm starting. So if you want to read comic books with me, make sure you subscribe to my Instagram channel. We're starting with Bitterroot, which is incredible. So white people getting killed.
Yes, definitely check out Bitterroot. Love it. But yeah, guys, I promise. I said this before that because the next thing coming out for me, I'm gonna try to review every single episode of Chucky. I'm behind. I know I am. I still haven't seen it yet, but there's that. And then also, if you guys were joining me on my interview with the Vampire Lives, I will be also talking about the Mayfair Witches come January. So make sure you pull up for that.
It's on my January. You're in the future.
We
future.
talking future stuff. Hit the bell notification button. Once again, thank you guys again for getting me up to 7,000 subscribers. Let's hope we can get up to 10,000 starting next. That's going to be the goal. And yeah, catch us at Anime NYC this weekend. And with that, we are out. Peace. And make sure you hit that like button.